Arca Bulls family, what is up with everybody? Thank you so much for coming by once again. It feels like it's been a while since we actually live streamed, right? Let me get some A's in the chat, team. Let me get some A's in the chat if you can hear me speak through the microphone tonight. Throw those A's in the chat if you're already here, if you're already listening to your boy speak. Moderators, Samantha Hound. What's up, Cal? Mrs. L, thank you so much for stopping by, you guys. Coder Elite HXR, man, speak to me. Why is your handle Coder Elite? Do you code? What language do you speak, my man? T Wood, what's up? Beso Amy, throwing those A's in the chat, of course, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Indra, how you doing? Guys, David Parr, what's up, man? How are you? Thanks so much for stopping by, you guys. I see the Overclockaholics up in there giving some ticker advice. Of course, man, we can definitely look at those. Wyckoff G coming through. What's up, man? Thank you so much. Guys, that was Wyckoff G. That was actually in the the space call yesterday for the BBIG thing. So actually, by the way, thank you so much for everybody who did step into that space call. It was very educational. It was, I mean, guys, it was a good time. You know what I'm saying? I know that some of the moderators were actually there. And yeah, it was a good time. I like that we had all these questions and stuff. So Wyckoff G, I'm gonna go ahead and send you a bunch of questions regarding that Wyckoff theory, because I'm always curious about learning new stuff, man. Very, very good stuff you're providing for the community, man. Thank you so much for all that. But what's up, Samantha? Thank you so much, you guys. Fusion 2000, good to see you up in the chat. Richard Kiron, what's up, man? How are you? So Richard says it was a good space call, best one I've been in yet. That's very cool. That's very cool of you. Thank you so much. Coder Elite, what language is it, man? I know it's zeros and ones, man, but which one are you trying to speak? Angry Music saying WhatsApp. Speaking about that WhatsApp, listen, guys, I know that there's a lot of Arca imposters in the comments below and wherever else. I need you guys to know that it is not me, okay, you guys? So I do not give my phone numbers away. I don't say text me, guys. No, my family is too important for me to just give out my phone number and stuff on a comment. Okay, you guys definitely know that those imposters are absolutely not me, okay? So I try to say, I actually am trying to remind myself. I have this big old post-it note on my screen. I have it right there, okay? So I'm trying to say, hey, Arca, remind yourself, okay? Remind yourself to say that is not a good thing to follow, okay? You guys, make sure that you do not fall for the scams, okay? Those are all kinds of thieves up in here. Okay, you guys, watch out with that, as I know that they're just trying to take away your money, okay? So please be very, very careful, okay, you guys? Overclockaholics making such an amazing donation, my friend. Thank you so much. And with that incredible donation, Overclockaholics says, we make money, you make money, Professor Arca. So CTXR and OZSC Paris for analysis. Absolutely. I actually already had that one preloaded for you. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those. As I will actually, you know what, let me just go ahead and start minimizing my screens over here and start bringing in the charts, okay, because I do have some things to talk to you guys about, in particular to those tickers, okay? So you can see right over here that I already had that CTXR for you and OZSC, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and go over a bunch of tickers, okay, you guys? I really appreciate everybody stopping by. I know that I had a few tickers left over as well, okay, from the last live stream, okay, you guys? So please know that that is also something that I have to cover, okay? So that's very, very, very nice of you, Overclockaholics. Thank you so much for that. We'll definitely look into that for you. Okay, so yes, you guys, we're going to be going over the list of tickers that we're going to be covering tonight. I just want everybody to kind of get situated into the chat. We can just kind of have a good time for now and discuss what's been traded in the markets. You guys, is anyone long on anything? Is anyone short on anything? what are the tickers that are in play right now? I've been hearing some stuff about GVSI. I've been hearing some, I don't know, you know what I mean. Mr. Levitt's coming in with revisit CEOS, still super bullish, man. I remember that I was actually telling you there was going to be a lot of sideways trading followed by an upside continuation. The setup has always been there for that CEOS ticker, right? So essentially, if you're telling me that it's starting to move right now, then yeah, it's that upside move was absolutely looked at prior to this session right now, prior to your question, and that just means that the possibility of moving to the upside is probably greater, since we are now probably in that validation period, or confirmation that the support line was absolutely there. Please remember that we were on that descending channel, and we were waiting for that upside move. So yes, absolutely, we can go ahead and take a look at those tickers. But please keep in mind, Mr. Levis, that I absolutely have a few other tickers to look at, as I owe them from the last stream. Okay, my goodness, too many tickers to look at. If you guys remember correctly, actually, in that live stream, I actually covered about 14 tickers, and I released about 4 videos aside from that. So man, that was about an 18 ticker day. And I do not suggest for anyone in the chat or ever, okay, if you are newer-ish to trading, if you feel like you're still a little green to the whole trading aspect, I strongly recommend you focus in on one ticker, maximum 2, but 1. Okay, I would really like for you to focus in on what the purpose is, even in the first place, right? Why would you just look at all these tickers if you can't manage all of the exits and entries and stop losses all at once? T Wood saying can only do 2 or 3 trades at a time. Yeah, man, I hear that. It gets tough. And to tell you the honest truth, I can probably handle like 5 to 8. And that's the only reason I can handle around that many trades, is because I am a systematic trader, and I don't really focus on the discretion regarding the exits and the entries. Okay, so that usually is something that I figure before I even consider entering the trade. So I would enter the trade with a group order, right? And that group order would consist of the entry, the stop loss, the exit, and also whatever other average that I may want to take on, okay, if it's not going to be just one entry, okay, you guys? So that's the reason why I don't look at the charts actually while I'm trading it. It's a way for me to kind of diminish that anxiety. Okay, the market movements are just way too insane sometimes for us to just see that price movement and just always be on edge. We have to be very careful with that stuff. All right, so T Wood saying CLNV will be another one asleep on me. So at Arca, got to admit I'm getting anxious considering dumping and consider re-entering at the 0.04 support or moving on. Need some green. Been idle for weeks. Okay, so do you I think I actually replied to you in Twitter regarding this, but did you actually see? Did you catch the video that I loaded? I assume that you're telling me this because of what I released today, right? So if you are, just know that it's actually not a bad thing for us to pull back. You know what I mean? This is actually allowing. Please don't take anything I say actually as any type of financial advice or whatever, right? Just take it as entertainment, like always. You guys know the deal. All right. So I'm just what I'm saying is that sometimes when we pull back, it's a good thing to consider. The pullback, because that's where we have the bulls reload and then pressure that momentum to the upside yet again. Okay, so it is a very good thing that we pull back, but I'm not telling you to hold. Okay, what I am telling you is that if you are maybe in profit, you know what I mean, then I would consider maybe just minimizing your risks to whatever you feel. But honestly, I think I would have already probably pulled out if I'm noticing that standstill motion like you're saying. Okay, so now T Wood, you're saying admit that the pullback, I understand. So it's just been another one on me. No, I get it, man. I totally get it. I absolutely understand. In fact, there's no way I'm gonna encourage you to stay in the ticker, because that nervous feeling that you're getting, sometimes my discretionary side gets the best of me, and then I'll pull out. I'll pull the plug on the position. For example, I actually entered on the SQQQ about a couple days ago, and my discretion was telling me, you know what, we should probably pull out of that position because the markets are feeling pretty strong. So what I ended up doing is I just closed it early today at a let's see, minus 0.32% loss, and I was like, no, the markets are feeling like they could do something. I don't know. So I pulled it out, and and then it started riding that wave. I would have been at a bigger loss. Okay, so make sure, okay, that you just watch yourself. Who cares about the movement? Who cares about what everyone else is saying? Watch your dollar. Okay, not financial advice. Wyckoff G coming in with amazing energy. Arca mods, subs, nice to be on the other side. Let's get together sometime and chat, my brother. I'll DM you. Good luck with everything, and good night, my dude. Have a very good night too. Definitely send me a DM. We can always chat. We can always see what's up for the next day, my dude. Good to see you, Wyckoff G. Everybody, send him a hello on his Twitter. Okay, it is at Wyckoff G. Thank you so much, my bro. Have a good night. But yes, you guys, that's what I was telling you, T Wood. Everything is good. Okay, you guys, I just want to make sure that you can always just watch out for yourself. Who cares about what anyone else is saying? Okay, do you? All right, you guys. So that is absolutely my best advice, is just focus in on you and take everything else with a grain of salt, right? Because no one is going to care about your finances more than you. All right, you guys. So yeah, so far, you guys, we do have a few tickers to go over. Let's go over some of those right now. So we do have a ticker symbol ATXI. We have ticker symbol AMV. I know that if Mark Roach is here, definitely. I know that he actually wanted me to take a look at that ticker symbol AMV, and so I want to make sure that we do that, you guys. He's been doing so much for me here on the chat, and he's a very nice guy. So we want to take a look at that AMV as well. We're going to look at APRN. We have GTII, CRTD. We have GVSI, and absolutely we're going to be looking into those tickers and this is not in the particular order, you guys, okay? So we're actually going to look at OZSC and CTXR, not to be confused with CTRX. Okay, so there's actually a few very, very similar tickers out there. Okay, you guys, do not confuse yourselves. DJ, my bro, what's up, man? Cheers to you as well. Oh, thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody really feeling the energy here. I love it, you guys. So yeah, we got some good tickers in line. I know that I see a few other ones. I'm gonna go ahead and note that just in case I can't get to them, right, you guys? So for example, Safe Pop Culture is essentially giving me the suggestion for ticker symbol GNS, which is actually one that we have looked at before, and I just don't remember anything of it. Okay, and Chris, I see you too, my bro. I'll try to get to those. Like I said, you guys, I'll try to get to them as fast as I can. Okay, so that's what did you say? ARCR? ARCR. Okay, I don't know. Sorry. My dyslexia is actually getting to me. ARCR, and ticker symbol ACOR. I'm not gonna lie. I've never heard of those tickers. But what are they, man? Are they squeeze plays? What's going on with them? Some fundamental catalyst coming out that's gonna send them to the moon, or what's the real deal with that ticker, man? So Coder Elite saying, since you already went through BBIG, then SDC is my pick for you. So yeah, I'll go ahead and still add that to the list as well. Coder Elite, like I said, if I can't get to it tonight, then we'll absolutely look into them in the next live stream. But I will certainly love to get to that. But speak to me about that ticker, man. SDC, what is up with it? Is it a squeeze play? I'm actually considering. Cal, I actually found, and Hound and Samantha, actually, I found this this bot actually through I think that guy that's always on Moon Market's thing, Xmas Holiday actually, he pointed at this bot, and it's a squeeze finder bot that we can kind of implement onto the Discord, onto the channel, right? So I think I might check into that. Yeah, Xmas is definitely a cool dude. So I asked him something curious that I saw. He always sends me screenshots and stuff, and he sent me a screenshot of him kind of utilizing this bot that's implemented or applied on top of your server or your channel, right? And what you do is you type in whatever little command code and the ticker symbol, and then it finds something for you. It's really interesting. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I'm sure there's probably people in here who already know how that squeeze finder works, but it could be something to maybe just look into, right? And just see if it may work out for the community in the Discord server. As you know, we're always trying to figure out ways to make it more just more entertaining to be within the Discord, right? Cal, Samantha, and Hound are doing an extraordinary job by it, right? So basically, Amy's saying, I'm curious. Me too. I'm very interested in it, and I actually just did get all that information from Xmas Holiday just today. So he's a very cool dude for providing that information. Okay, you guys. So I know that we still haven't started these tickers, but we will. We just want to let a couple more people step into the chat. Like always, this is just how it is on these live streams. That's exactly how it was actually for that live stream for BBIG on that space call. Okay, so I did notice that we did get that pullback on BBIG as well. T Wood, thank you so much for that recommendation, man. Of course, you guys, if you are new to the chat, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and everything will be very, very much chillin'. Bitcoin Rain, hello. This is actually a new name right here, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you. How'd you hear of me? Did I was it through ticker symbol WULF, or was it through Mara? I'm only asking because your handle, right? Bitcoin Rain. So I'm only assuming that you were looking at the Bitcoin miner things that I was looking at. So don't mind me. I'm just being silly, you guys. Just being silly, of course. And speaking of the devil ticker itself, look at this. Sebastian Lin coming in with a very nice donation. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you so much. So that is yet another ticker that we have to look at. That is ticker symbol WULF. And of course, man, I really appreciate that. That contribution, my friend. I appreciate you. So Sebastian wants to look at ticker symbol WULF, which has been making some momentous moves to the upside, of which we've already been looking at for weeks, actually. So very good stuff. Congratulations, Sebastian. I hope that you are still long that ticker, or I don't know, man. I hope that you also took some profits, okay? Because this thing has been pumping to the upside like no other, man. Oh my goodness. Okay, so regardless of the fact, I am already looking at a few tickers right now. So Sebastian, just in case I don't get to you, my friend, I will absolutely get to you as soon as possible, okay? So Don Hilbert asking, yes, what happened to WULF? So I think it may have pulled back because Bitcoin probably pulled back, and then it's just, it's a sympathy run to the BTC, what you can call it or consider more as an asset, okay? Mark Roach coming in the chat. What is up, my dude? I owe you ticker symbol AMV, so we're gonna be looking into that for you, okay, my dude? And I'm just gonna have to ask you to explain to me how the situation with your family is going. I know you told me you're busy with work. You're telling me that also you have kids and stuff. So what's the deal with that, my dude? Because Cal has been asking me about you, okay, dude? So I want to make sure that you do get in touch with us and see what we can accomplish together, right? Lucky you, Caribbean. He's saying, what is up, fam? What's up, my dude? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. But yeah, Don, that ticker symbol WULF, Don Hilbert, that ticker symbol WULF has actually been moving to the upside. And to be very honest, it's already broken out of its key resistance, which is a broadening descending wedge, and it has retraced to now validate that newly converted resistance into now a support. Okay, so this is usually around where those more conservative traders tend to go long that stock. Okay, so as we know, ticker symbol WULF is actually a Bitcoin miner ticker, right? So that's why I'm saying that we can consider Bitcoin to be kind of like its index per se, and so it's in sympathy. It's a sympathy run, right? So as long as the markets are bullish, as long as everything is still moving to the upside, then ticker symbol WULF would essentially continue on that upside as well. Okay, so now Bitcoin Rain saying your TA is great, man. Thank you so much, man. And so you found me 3 weeks ago. That's very cool, and I very much encourage anyone who has found me to come in and say hi and chill with us, right? So yeah, you know what I'm saying, you guys. So yeah, so Lucky You Caribbean saying if I can take a look at ATXI, that is absolutely in the list. In fact, it is number 1 on the list. I know that I said in no particular order, but particularly to the people who did wait for me on the last live stream, those 3 would be in that order. Okay, so it would be ATXI, AMV for Mark Roach, and APRN. Okay, so those are absolutely the tickers that we're going to be looking at first. Okay, then in no particular order, we have GNS, ARCR, ACOR, SDC, ticker symbol WULF, OP. We still have OZSC, and we have CTXR for the Overclockaholics, making an incredible donation to me today, you guys. Thank you so much for that. Moderator Hound, my moderator is giving me donations. Thank you so much. So MGOL, MGOL, isn't that soccer? I forgot his name. Isn't that his ticker, or what is he doing with that? So he says with this very kind donation, MGOL has only been trading for these days, but it's already in a falling wedge. Mind taking just a quick 45-second glance? Yeah, man. It's while we let the chat kind of fill in, no problem. So guys, a lot of people have been talking about yes, it's messy. It is his, right? So I know that a lot of people have been raving about that, and it rose like 50 something or more % on that IPO, and then it actually fell, and then it recovered, and then man, just like any other IPO would go, right? But particular to Messi's ticker, this is it would actually be this volatile. Okay, so if this is actually something for a long hold, I mean, look at it. It's NASDAQ. Okay, this is not anything tiny. I mean, it would be expected. Guys, take a look at these candles right here. This is giving me all kinds of historical data that we can rely on for the future. All right, very good stuff right here. No, of course not. We don't have any information, guys. No edge right here with these 3 candles. Okay, so let's go ahead and now just zoom out a little bit and see what we have. Okay, I want to at least try to just see this 15-minute iteration, okay? But wow, okay, so it's already making all kinds of weird gaps, and we are on the logarithmic chart too, so even on a standard chart, it's looking a little strange. So it has already tested its low. 367, it looks like it's already been doing, right? So just for Hound, right? Of course, this is not going to be like a full-on like a full-on analysis, but I want to make sure that I do at least give it a shot, because dude, you're not the only one asking me for this, okay? So I mean it's a ticker that I may actually just want to hold a little bit of forever. Who knows, man? It's soccer, you know what I mean? Messi's a really famous person. This thing can squeeze on a bull market, you know, or I'm sorry, it can just make upside moves. Okay, so yeah, so in this case, since we don't have so much historical data, let's take a look at MGOL with momentum. Okay, so the momentum is actually reversing from a very oversold area. Okay, so let's see. So we touched the low on the 15-minute chart of 2306%. Okay, so a good thing is right here, Hound, is that we're already making a bullish cross above that 14-day simple moving average. Okay, but the information is very limited. Okay, I see that. I see how you're talking about the falling wedge, right? No, I know. It's just curiosity, man, because like, I mean, I was really curious over it as well, okay? But in this particular case, if we're talking about 15 minute, okay, I usually don't study the 15 minutes because I don't whatever, it doesn't matter. But what I am seeing here is already some drives of bullish divergence, okay? So for example, this drive right here, and you can actually just compare it to the low of this candle to the print of that, okay? So you do have a drive of bullish divergence in play already, okay? So the upside based on this is where I would be a little lost, to tell you the honest truth. So if I can open up that hourly chart and take a look at the potential based on the prior hourly iterations, so we can see where that upside can be. Okay, so let's just validate the upside first. So let's go to the 5 minutes, since we don't have that much information. 5 minutes suggesting upside, entering that gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile. Okay, so this is good. We can actually still see some upside almost immediately. Okay, so let's see the 30 minute. The 30 minute looks like it's pivoted towards the upside as well. It's still using the 14-day simple as a resistance. Okay, so we can actually still face that upside soon, okay? But and know for a fact that we're not in the gravitational zone here, so this is showing some strength and the potential to actually get out of it, okay? Do not take what I'm saying here as a rule of thumb, because guys, my edge within tickers like these is very limited, okay? But if we are looking immediate upside, I can give you a target of about the $3.81 zone, which is very much near this candle here, just from today, the low from this candle, near the 1.272 at 381 to about $3.85. Since we are making this downward momentum here, this is probably a lot of people trying to get out of this in fear, okay? Because this FOMO trapped a lot of longs, okay? Be careful. All right, so this is what I'm saying. If you are long on this ticker, I would consider getting out soon, and that would be between 381 and 385. Okay, so that's my short little thesis for you, my friend. I hope that you're not long on it right now, because these are super speculative when they're first coming out, right, guys? So we have to make sure. But MGOL, yeah, MGOL is looking like it could do something, but I'm honestly not gonna bank on that until this thing is potentially sub $2. Okay, so I mean, it does have the possibility to go down that low. I mean, it's all-time high right now, $16.60. This is a massive loss that some longs have already endured. Okay, so this can just show you the potential of what it's capable of doing towards the downside, and this is not done. Okay, so if anyone is, I don't even know if you can short this yet, but if you can borrow shares on this right now, I mean, if I was a short bias trader for this ticker, I would be literally shorting starting from 385, and then, you know, just riding the waves of the next geometrical target, as that's usually how this tends to play out. Okay, but like I said, very, very short-term time frames. Take a look at that SMA 10 landing right in between the area that I gave you, 384 right here. Okay, so this is definitely a significant area of resistance. Okay, so Hound, love you, buddy. I hope that you can recover some longs if you are in it. I hope you're not. So Hound saying, what's up Abner Cruz, how you doing, my bro? Definitely excited for you to show up today, my friend. Yeah, so what do you have in mind, man? So that's VLTA and GNS. So GNS is absolutely something that we're going to be looking at today regardless, and yes, I can also put that one in for you. I know you're watching my stream from a very late hour. So what if I don't get to it, I can always send you a DM or an image or something regarding that ticker VLTA. But are you long on it already? Is this something that you're already pushing to the upside with your positions, or you're considering entering? So M9 coming in with a very nice donation. Of course, my friend, he says with the donation, can you take a look at GNS, please, and thanks. Guys, this ticker is so popular. GNS, please reply in the comments what's going on with that ticker, because we should probably all know what the deal is with that. Okay, so please let me know in the comments below what is happening with that. Okay, so Abner Cruz saying, I got half my squad listening to you right now. My bro, thank you so much. Really appreciate that, man. Oh, and I haven't forgotten about your daughter. Make sure that you are having her read those books, and if she or you have any questions, have her relay them to you or reach out to me on Twitter. We can always start also a group conversation, and we can move along the path to trading accordingly. Okay, so there is a certain method to the madness, okay, and we have to kind of approach it very delicately. So you don't want to just jump in, go long, and lose all kinds of money like everybody else does, and me, and then you eventually learn your lesson. Sometimes, yes, it does require that tuition, but I wanna save your daughter from having to do that, as I do have a deep care for both of you. Okay, you guys. So Abner, thanks so much for stopping by, man. Yeah, we'll definitely look at those tickers. Okay, my bro. So far, you guys, the tickers that we're gonna be looking at. Let's go over that list. So that is ticker symbol ATXI, AMV, APRN, GNS. We have CTXR. We have OZSC. My goodness, man. ARCRACOR, SDC, WULF, OP, VLTA. Lots of tickers to take a look at. You guys, everything is looking good. I hope that we have some opportunities to make some money in the markets. Okay, you guys. So I know that I actually. Oh, guys, did anyone actually long FFIE after I released that massive upside video that I released? Come on, you guys, man. Man, if anybody is long FFIE, let me get an orca in the chat. Throw a whale in the chat if you are long FFIE, because to tell you the truth, man, I kind of FOMO scalped that one today, and it was a very lucky 20% win. Of course, my bankroll is very small. You guys, to be very transparent with you, it was an entry of about 130 bucks. Got $23 out of it. Good stuff. Oh my goodness, you guys. So these donations hopefully can appear in the bank account one day from YouTube whenever they decide to release any money at all to Arca, and maybe we can trade some good stuff and good moves, right? Oh my goodness. So Indra saying that you are not able to buy the GNS in Germany. Interesting. So you don't have access to, guys, is GNS, can you long that in Webull? Or I mean, I know a lot of people talk about not using Webull because of PFOF and all that stuff, but make sure that when you do open up a Webull account, make sure that you're not allowing your shares to whatever you're holding long term to be lendable. Okay, so you can actually hold that back. Don Hilbert, Cal L saying that they are definitely long in that ticker. Okay, so this is very good, you guys. The FFIE was actually a ticker that Cal L reminded me of, and he actually said, yo, I'm looking at this ticker. What's up, man? What do you see? So what I ended up doing was releasing that video the next day, because Cal was dead on that. Okay, so Cal L is the moderator here alongside Samantha and Hound. So I warn you right now, do not piss Kal-El off, or else he will give you a silly little booting. Okay, so you don't want to get the boot from Kal-El. My man. Yeah, so Bitcoin Rain, what you saying over here? So I think after GNS CEO Roger Hamilton interviewed Wes Christian, it got more attention. Oh, okay, so it is some kind of thing. Okay, so there is a catalyst behind GNS, which is actually leading to the upside. So, I mean, tell me about it. Are there shorts, or could this be a type of squeeze scenario as well? Or is it more of a fundamentals catalyst and it's just going to lead it to the moon because of incoming merger, acquisition, whatever else, right? So Abner Cruz saying, yes, my brother, I'm in 2K and VLTA and 2K and GNS. Okay, we'll make sure to look at those tickers, my bro. I don't want you to have to incur any losses whatsoever, okay? As I do appreciate everything you do for me here and your contributions and everything. So you are very kind, my friend. So Don Hilbert coming in with, I did sell with 3,000 shares at 62 cents today, but still have more left. Don Hilbert, that is very good of you. Is that the target that I said on the video? Because I did say 6202, I think, right? So that's actually where I exited my position as well before that pullback, okay? Abner Cruz, thank you so much for that donation, my friend. I really appreciate you, dude. That's very kind of you. I didn't expect that of you because you've already done it a few times. I was still going to look into your ticker no matter what because I have just the utmost respect for you. Okay, my friend, thank you. That's very kind of you. And Stick Vicious, what is up, my friend? Good to see you up in the chat. Stick Vicious says, yo, what is up, y'all? Stick Vicious is a very good dude. Everybody, make sure to say hi to him. Karen Harkins, how you doing? I really appreciate. You see, I've been replying to you more often. Did you catch that? Every single time that I see your name on the comments, I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure to say hi to Karen because I'm forgetting. I forget. I always forget to say hi, is because there's another there's probably another notification that pops up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta reply to that. And then Cal will send me a message. I'm like, oh, that's right, Cal needs me right now, so I'll go and focus on Cal, and then I'll get a message from somebody else, and then guys, so I really try to say hi to all of you because you are all so amazing. I can't express my gratitude to you, okay, you guys, like enough. But Devil Z saying GNS basically got destroyed by naked shorts and the CEO has gone on the attack against them. So Devil Z, is this kind of like what COSM, the COSM's CEO was doing? Is this kind of like what that was? Or did they also go on a reverse split too, or no? Because yeah. Okay, so Don Hilbert saying, I believe you did say so. I said a GT. Okay. Yeah, that's good, Don. That is exactly what I ended up following with that play as well. Okay, so guys, when I talk to you or give you some targets to look at here, of course they're not financial advice, and of course we're doing them and watching them as though we were in the theater watching some action movie, right? So of course they're just entertainment, but the targets that I do present are absolutely in transparency according to how I would trade it personally. Okay, so if you want to take just a moment of silence and understand that I am giving you absolutely the way I would, because who knows, you guys, I'm just trying to say that I'm trying to be honest with you, okay? Because a lot of people say things and then it goes against you and then you lose money, and I don't want to be that guy ever, you guys. And did any of you catch that those comments in, I think, COSM and I don't know what other video? This guy was trying to say that I bamboozled him for like over $30,000. You guys, I literally just told you right now that my bankroll was $120. Like, what? No, that guy was straight up saying that Arca is a liar, and he made me deposit $33,000 into my account. Guys, what? Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, I almost thought it was a joke. I almost thought it was actually Cal hiding in another ticker. I'm sorry, in another account. So he was just gonna pull a funny one on me, but then I realized this guy was really serious. He straight up gave $30-something thousand to one of those Arca imposters. Dude, no. That is insane. So guys, that is the reason why I have to stress for you not to fall for those Arca imposters, okay? That is not cool. So I started to notice that he was really like expressing like this aggression towards me, and I'm like, bro, like, what are you talking about? I don't know what the M something trade or whatever he was talking about. He said it was my company that I have had for a long time. I only uploaded my first video on YouTube like 3 months ago. How would I have that company if I only uploaded it 3 months ago and I've only been trading for 15 months? What? Guys, when some people want to just get at you, they will get at you. Beso Amy saying, damn, can I put my number up? Man, you'll probably get a bunch of texts. Beso Amy, change your handle and then put that number up, okay? Say big, fat, ugly guy. Do not have Amy on that, okay? Yeah, you guys, I just I want to know if anybody up in here was trying to maybe think, did he really do that? Guys, no. I'm gonna say this again, you guys. My family is too important for me to start risking anything like that. Okay, you guys. I have a wife. I have my daughter. My son. In fact, my in-laws are staying in my house right now. You guys, no. Let's be real here, okay? My goodness. These guys are just using my credibility. They're using my whatever skill set as an advantage to pull all kinds of money. So yeah, I want the 30K too, but to tell you the truth, this is what happened. They said, okay, first deposit like $4,000, right? And then he was giving me the story, or giving someone else the story that was also a scammer, saying that, yeah, bro, this company's great. It's legit. I've been investing it for a long time. I'm like, and I replied to him in that comment set saying, bro, that they are all scammers. I thought that he would kind of get a clue by me calling those supposed clients scammers right to their faces. Like, come on, man, isn't that enough of a sign? And I had to threaten him. I told him, yo, I'm gonna have to block you from my channel, and then you're gonna notice when you don't have any access to reach to me, and you do have access to reach that imposter, you're gonna then know that for real it wasn't me, and then it's gonna be too late for you to express any apologies here. Okay, but he was telling everybody that was commenting like, no, don't comment on this, don't follow this guy, he's a scam and this and that. No, oh my goodness. You guys, I'm literally just looking out for my little boy. Like, that's all I want to do. I do not care about that. I do not care about those scammers, guys. Okay, don't fall for that. I wanted to make a whole special on it right now so that you guys just know how unbelievably important it is for us to not fall for those things, okay? But yes, moderator Samantha is saying unbelievable. Absolutely. Hound is saying if he was that gullible, then how could he have 30,000 to play with in the first place? My dude, going to the root. Okay, so Hound says they're relentless too. When I remove their comment, another one takes place in like 3 minutes. And to tell you the truth, dude, I'm not sure if it's actually I wonder. I mean, I don't want to talk crap about the overall companies, right? But what if YT is actually the reason why I'm getting all these views on my videos and all these subscribers, right? Aside from the fact that, whatever, they're trying to maybe kind of guide viewers or suggest it more often like that, but in a method by expressing all kinds of spam and phishing or whatever else in my comments. I guess it's a criteria, but trust me when I say that I delete them all the time, and then they just get replaced by another one, just like Hound is saying. And Hound, I didn't even know that you were doing that, dude. Thank you so much for that, by the way. But yeah, you guys, that's it for that story. It was ridiculous, man. I couldn't. That's unfathomable, you guys, and it really sucks. It actually made me sad. I told him, hey, I really suggest for you to maybe consider. Making calling the bank and kind of putting a stop on that transaction, because guys, that's not good. That's not okay. Okay, man. Stick Vicious, my bro. He said a very nice donation, man. Thank you so much for your contributions. Always, my dude. I'm forever in debt to you and to so many people here. Okay, so Stick Vicious, with his contribution, says, I don't have $30,000, but here's a few bucks for the real Arca family. Guys, Stick Vicious has always made contributions here and has been so selfless about them. He always puts them out. Just like for everyone, right? So I hope that I can provide the information that I continue providing you guys, and I hope that you guys can take it and make some cash in the markets, okay, you guys, because that's really all I care about, you guys. I want to make sure that your families, that your well-being is there. My intentions are nothing but honest, okay, man, and I'm getting so much backlash on that too, okay. So a lot of you have seen the drama that have happened in Twitter between me and others as well. So guys, just know that I absolutely mean well, and I'm not sure if actually people want me to not mean well on purpose, but that's not my deal, and I'm never going to be a part of that. I will always tell you, okay, when we look at these tickers, I'm going to tell you how ugly it is and how beautiful it is, and I don't care what our feelings have to say about it, because the markets don't care about me. They don't care about you either, okay? So just know for a fact that at least there's someone who can at least guide or say a good opinion on what can be happening with a good track record, right? So now Rain is saying just hit the like button. New viewers, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as it will continue helping drive some more people into the chat. And that chat is actually, by the way, balancing out very nicely. Now we're gonna start off the analysis right now, looking at ticker symbol. Again, you guys, I'm not gonna have time for all of them, but we're gonna go over ATXI, AMV, APRN, we have CTXR, we have OZSC, we have GTII, CRTD, sorry, APRN, AMV, man, guys, lots of good tickers here, okay? That we have AR, CR, GNS, ACOR, SDC, ticker symbol WULF, OP, VLTA, guys, lots of good opportunities for us to make some good calls, right? So yes, and now Samantha, moderator Samantha, saying to please join the Arcab Discord. Okay, guys, the links are in the description below. If the links are starting to be invalid, I'll go ahead and upload some new ones, or maybe even the moderators can put them up here on the chat as well for you. Okay, but regardless of the fact, you guys, those links are there for your convenience. All right, so I think we're going to have to start putting on a serious face and start our analysis, right? So yes, like I said, I still owe a few tickers from the last live stream, so that's going to pressure us to start the analysis off with ticker symbol ATXI. I'm not sure if anyone actually told me about it. Ed Princeton, what's up, my dude? Thank you for stopping by, and he is saying thank you, Arca. We appreciate you, and I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate your support. Your being here is massive to me. WV, what's up, man? Thank you for stepping into the chat, okay? So, did Karen Harkins cuss me out, or what happened over here? Karen Harkins, you know that I will always support you, okay? All right, so anyway, you guys, let's see what we got. Let me just go ahead and upload this list right here. We're gonna start turning down that music and see what we have. Okay. Guys, please remember that before we start, I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, okay? And one more thing, I actually did figure out how to record these videos. So I'm not recording the whole entire live stream because YouTube does that naturally. And also we're going to include the timestamps for you to come back to the chat later and or come back to the live stream later when it's over and refer to the ticker of your choice, right? So in this case, I did find out how to record the video, so I may actually start uploading individual tickers based on these live streams, okay? Of course, starting off with that ATXI. So let's go ahead and start it off and see what we can do, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and press that record button very soon. So Karen Harkins saying I was reading the tweets and couldn't believe it, but I hear it. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness. That was a situation like no other. Okay, so moderators, go ahead and start taking over the chat, as I will focus in on our tickers right now, okay? Leroy Jenkins, I'm about to get started. Good to see you here, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by the chat. So let's go ahead and start off our first ticker. Let's see. Ticker symbol ATXI starting at 10:04 p.m. on the live stream. Okay, so we are looking at ATXI on the daily here. Huge pullback. Guys, that is that power button doing its thing again. Okay, if I miss you, then I will come back. All right. I hope I don't lose that power. My goodness, what is happening? Let's see. Okay, so yes, we're looking at a pullback right now on the daily. We have an area of support that I want to give you, okay? The 50-day simple moving average and the 10-day simple, okay? So definitely know that we have a possibility of finding a bounce from this area, okay, as it's located between, it's the one spot 272 is a credible area to find that support. Okay, you guys, so definitely know that that is a good area for us to look at. Okay, another thing that we want to notice is that we have the 10-day simple moving average at the lower end of that of that range. Okay, so this is important for us to notice as well, because my apologies, you guys, my apologies. Okay, we're trying to get this thing connected yet again. Oh my goodness, you guys, if you are still there, let me know in the chat. Throw some A's in the chat. My goodness. Oh, good. No, the thing, Cal, the thing is that the girls like to turn up the heat to like 400 degrees, and the studio draws a lot of power, of course. So, oh man, my goodness. So I literally came out, I'm like, yo, you guys, like, can we turn the heat down for a little bit? Happy that everyone is still here-ish, you know. Of course, we lost a lot of viewers, but it's all good, right? So we're going to have to go ahead and just restart this analysis, okay? But I'm happy. I'm happy that we're back in the chat. I'm happy that everything is here, but yes. Oh, my goodness. Goodness gracious. But yeah, I guess a more stable power system here would be incredible, right, you guys? Anyway, we do have to get back to that ticker ATXI, don't we? So, oh man, yeah, this really sucks, you guys. I apologize for everybody. I apologize to everybody for enduring that. It's just a minor power outage here, and that was my power system telling me that, yo, you are getting you're getting shorted right now, and you are about to experience a power outage, and here we are. But yes, Ed Princeton, welcome back. Thank you, guys. And I see that the chat is starting to fill up yet again. Yes. Yes. Okay. So if you can't hear me, refresh the page. Thank you so much, Cal. Really appreciate that. We're just trying to get everybody back in here, right? So I'm not sure who was asking me for that ticker symbol. It was Yusuf that was asking me for that ticker symbol, ATXI, right? So yeah, George T, what up, man? I'm happy I'm back too. It's just the girls like to run that temperature out. So yeah, man, it's really cold out here. Mark Roach, it's pretty cold right now. It's like what, 35 degrees. It's starting to get really cold. I mean, it's relative to California, of course. You know, it's never going to be that cold. It's so, but for the girls here, they are suffering. So they wanted me to, or they usually go up to the heater and they turn it up to like 70 degrees, and that's a lot, you know, for heat, especially when it's central air. But so yeah, let's go ahead and start all over with this ticker symbol ATXI. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start it over because I'm gonna literally record the video once again. Okay, you guys. So yeah. Guys, I'm reading your comments. Is just funny. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let the chat be moderated by the moderators themselves as we will start. We will officially start that ticker symbol ATXI now. Okay, so we're gonna adjust the time of 10:04 where we initially started to 10:13 p.m. Okay, so now ATXI. Yes, I was looking at already some. This is, of course, it looks like weakness, right? Yes, I am noticing weakness here, but if I can give you an area of support, this would be it here, okay? And now the reason why I'm giving you this area in particular is not only because of the SMA 10 and the SMA 50, but, oh my goodness, man. Guys, I may have to actually upload individual videos for this. You hear that button thing again? You hear that thing again? Jeez, my goodness. I don't know what the heck is going on. But if there's another outage, you guys, then I will owe you individual videos and I will put them up, okay? But I just wanted to let you know that everybody here, I thank you so much, okay? And if I do lose that power, guys, I'm going to try to come back and we'll do the thing all over again. And, you know, I don't know what's driving this power like this because I really have nothing else on now except my computer. You hear this thing beeping is because it's literally going to take it. Is literally going to take me away, which sucks a lot, man. My goodness. So I guess if I can, let me stop recording. What if it's that? What? No way. Okay. Now I know what it is. It's when I'm recording into the disk while running everything live. Got it. Okay, anyway, so yeah, let's continue. So the reason why I'm giving you this support, you guys, is literally because of that SMA 50 and the SMA 10, and it's surrounding that one spot 272 at $1.36, okay? So this is a very important area for us to keep in mind. And yes, I am suggesting that there's a continuation to the downside. I don't mean to be overly bearish on it. In fact, we faced just a little bit of a bounce right here, and you can see that in the 12-hour time frame, we also have that SMA 50 and SMA 10 near that top range of support. Okay, so now let's validate with some momentum and see if we can continue that path to the downside first. But look at this. The 12-hour is suggesting already a corrective move. We have been using that 14-day simple moving average as a form of support and as a guide towards the upside. Okay, so what we're looking at here may be temporary before a continuation. Okay, we also had a small wedge, a falling wedge here that actually ended up playing out pretty nicely, I would say so, right? But we stopped right at that wedge objective, okay? That objective is actually taken with a trend line from the top of the triangle all the way to the lowest point of the triangle, and you apply it to that breakout candle, which is this one, and you can see that we stopped right at it on the daily, okay? So the daily is still suggesting some downside. It looks to be a little limited, which is absolutely in accordance within this range here. That range, again, for your convenience, is $1.30 to about $1.43, okay? So just in case you're curious, let's validate in the immediate short term. So let's see, immediate short term downside already being suggested with the RSI signal, the purple line, still now entering actually the bear strength percentile. We have pretty much a nosedive on that 14-day simple. Let's look at the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly also suggesting a continuation to the downside. It looks to be slowing down a bit, but that's it's normal when we actually face these gravitational zones. Okay, so but nonetheless, we are starting that downside on that 14-day simple, so that downside is still continuing. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at that 6-hour and finish up this ticker. 6-hour has made now a fresh cross below the 14-day moving average. It has lost downside momentum in doing that, and you can see here that we've actually failed that 14-day moving average and reclaimed it several times. It could be the case here that we can actually find some support, potentially. I'm talking in the 6-hour time frame. If you were to trade the 6-hour, you're looking at a support of about $1.52 for a short-term bounce to test the SMA 10 back at our current highs at $1.60 before a continuation to the downside. Okay, that's another potential that we can look at there. Now the 12-hour is the one that I wanted to look at with you, okay? Why? Actually, let me see if it's maybe the daily, because I think that's where I looked at it. Yeah. Okay, so the final part of this analysis on ATXI is the fact that I am now looking at 1, 2, 3 drives of hidden bearish divergence printing on the daily. Okay, so this is it is absolutely credible. So the way you can actually see that is if we block out the view from any of those moving averages and start to look at the price action versus momentum, momentum being the RSI, of course, we can actually match the pivots, right? So if you're making higher highs on momentum, then that means that price action should be making lower highs on the price action, of course. So we can actually see that we are doing that. Okay, I'm not going to draw them all in, but you can see that we do have, per the pivots, 3 drives of hidden bearish divergence, and they are absolutely in play as they would usually signal. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stick to my guns and tell you that the bottom line support that I'm looking at here before a temporary bounce, I can't see into the future of this because ATXI actually, let's see, how much history does it have trading? It actually does have it's not enough history for me to give you enough of an upside continuation, but we can always speculate on the 3-day and 5-day. So it looks like the downside is limited, and that would essentially start possibly into next week or the following week. So it's not, and it's showing that there is some significant upside still left in it. Okay, so I would probably not trade this one, guys. It's not financial advice, but I would maybe consider staying away from this for now. Okay, we are printing a massive shooting star after this uptrend here on the bi-weekly. We still have 8 days to complete this. Of course, it's forever until that, but yeah, this one's a little shaky here, you guys. Okay, there's going to be a short-term bounce here from that range of about 131 to 142, and that bounce is likely going to be finished at the best likelihood I can see would be at 157 at the current lows to about 173. Okay, so that's about the best case scenario that I can see for ATXI. So Yusuf, if you're still here, watch out with that ticker, my friend, and I will officially end this ticker now at 10:30 p.m. Let's go ahead and now move on to the ticker symbol AMV for my friend Mark Roach. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look at what we have here. I haven't actually made any preparation for this ticker thus far, but we can actually start that now. Let's load up some momentum. Let's load up our moving averages. We'll get some fibs up, maybe even a couple other tools, but let's just see if we can get that edge. Okay, my apologies for I meant to upload the SMAs. There we go. Okay, so very little trading history here. Okay, so this is obviously you guys already know that my edge is limited when it comes to things like this, but if we're looking at this on the daily, please keep in mind your SMA 10. Your SMA 10 is already above us. Okay, so that's now serving as a point of resistance and a continuation to the downside. So noted. 1021. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate you, my bro, for your own ticker. That is. My goodness, thank you, bro. Yeah, so please pay attention to your SMA 10 up here, so because you're going to be faced with some resistance before a continuation to the downside. Let's see that 12-hour. Okay, so there is some aftermarket activity on this that is relevant. Okay, so now let's go ahead and just take a fib here, a retracement from the swing low to the swing high inversely of the day. Okay, so we can see that we actually have a few targets in mind already. Okay, particularly to this candle closure here that actually has absolute confluence with this candle over here, and this would be relevant too as a form of support, and also near the 1.618. Very curious. Okay, so that's now an area that we can look at as a potential. What is happening with my tools over here? Get rid of that. There we go. All right, so we're going to draw a box over here and see what we can do about our area of support. Okay, and I think that there actually could be one more area now by loading an EMA. And if you're looking at shorter term periods, the 7 period and the 30 period exponential moving averages tend to have some credibility here. And as you can see, the opening of this candle, this daily iteration, opened right at the resistance of the EMA 7. Okay, so this is yet again confirming some more downside to come. So let's go ahead and validate that downside with momentum in the immediate short-term time frame. Always mind your RSI signal. We are absolutely in that gravitational area of the RSI, which means that we can actually face that downside, okay? So it doesn't always happen, but the hint can come from that 14-day simple, okay, suggesting a continuation to the downside and also well within the grips of the bear strength percentile. Okay, if you don't remember correctly, the upper half is the bullish control zone. The lower half of the RSI is the bearish control zone. Okay, so yeah, you guys, I think I'm gonna have to stick to my guns here and say that the downside is more probable than not. Okay, very similarly to the 30-minute time frame is the bi-hourly sitting right at that gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile. And since we are here and have used that 14-day moving average as a guide towards the downside, I can only imagine that the downside would be more probable than the up. Okay, so now we have a fresh new cross of the 14-day simple moving average by the RSI signal, still suggesting a little bit of sideways. Actually, all of these time frames have been in critical positions suggesting sideways, so which is interesting. So there is a little bit of indecision, but that's also in accordance to having a support level very near you. So that means that downside pressure could be diminishing little by little. Okay, so we already saw that at 12-hour, and we also saw that daily. So if we can see any recovery here, I guess that would essentially be the question here. So see the information, because we don't have that much historical value. That's literally the RSI. It hasn't shown us anything. So Yeah, so even into days from now, this is still looking at downside further and also some consolidation. Okay, so this is likely to find a short-term bounce within this range here in the next trading day or so, and then it's going to stay within this for several days and just going to be testing a range here. Okay, so AMV is not looking like it's going to make too many moves for the near term. Okay, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol AMV. Let's go ahead and now move on to the next one, ending at 10:25 p.m. Right, so let's take a look at that ticker symbol APRN, and then we're going to be looking at that CTXR and OZSC. Okay, you guys. So let's look at APRN, as I know there's a lot of attention on that ticker. Mark Roach, thank you so much for all you do, my friend. Of course, let's now take a look at this over here. The APRN 30, the 3-day is essentially where I've been looking at it, huh? Okay, so we're just gonna make that RSI signal a little thicker so that it's more visible for the people who are on mobile devices, right? So just to point out really fast, I'm just gonna block out the moving averages so that you can see the overall picture of what's happening here. Okay, so I must remind everybody that hasn't been present for this that there is a sense of maybe writing a larger macro scale descending channel, but the clear formation for me would essentially be the broadening descending wedge. Okay, so this broadening descending wedge is a very rare iteration where we have failed it, and you can actually see that this thing absolutely dead cat bounced, and then it actually started its capitulation, even came back up to test that resistance, okay, before a continuation to the downside. But don't get too fooled by this, because this is actually something that GTII is doing in an inverse manner, like this. See this? Fake out huge on that test number 3, and then we came all the way back up and all the way back down, and then tested that resistance, and now we're continuing to the downside. Okay, this is very similar to APRN in an inverse manner. Okay, so this is now just this could be a sense a bear trap. Okay, so if it is a bear trap, then it's in play, and these guys are starting to get pressured out little by little. Okay, so another thing that we want to notice here is the tests of the resistance. Okay, so there could be a confusion here as to how the tests are actually being played out, but my personal take would be this resistance here. Okay, so we are looking at test number 1, 2, 3, faked out on 4. Okay, so we faked out on 4, and now we're potentially creating a huge bear trap. May even reclaim the inside of this broadening wedge, and then try that true breakout on test number 5. Okay, so this is a very tricky ticker. Okay, so in other words, what I can say is that the top trend line would not be the way we're trading it, but it would actually be the essential macro scale take profit per this formation. Okay, so a lot of speculation here, and now let's just go ahead and zoom into the price action and see what's been happening. Okay, so yeah, I do remember talking about this the last time. I did say that we were likely to find resistance within this area here. It looks like we did, and now we are continuing that downside into our previous area of support, perfectly to it. Okay, so this is just showing us that the potential of trading a massive range here is a possibility. Okay, so let's load up momentum and see what we have in store for this ticker. Okay, so 3-day time frame already suggesting some downside within that bear strength percentile. Very curious here. Okay, so now let's see. Let's move on actually to the shorter term time frames and see what we got from the very bottom all the way to the upside. Okay, so immediate short-term time frame support right here, but that support could very well be in line with this trend line here, which is actually the bottom of our gap. Okay, so this is a psychological component that we always want to take into consideration, right? So we're just going to go ahead and note it like this so that everyone sees what I'm seeing, right? Of course, it's long been filled, okay, but that's not the point. It's the point is that it was there, and people are going to use that as future play. As you can see here, the candle closure here and the candle opening here, and all these are just using it as a form of support. And you can actually see here this candle, it was just the birth of the candle, actually didn't do anything, and then following resistance, you can see that we're definitely using it for future play. Okay, so this is a little pro tip for everybody in the chat right now. Definitely keep in mind your significant gaps, or even the smaller ones. Keep them in mind because the future play could be relevant to them. Okay, so now we can see that the price action may be finding a little bit of a support in the immediate short-term time frame. And the reason why I was pointing out this gap is because if we are going to face a little bit of an upside, it would be for about 3 reasons. It would be reason number 1, the 14-day simple moving average acting as support alongside the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, which means that we can find not only a bounce from that moving average, but from the gravity point, and then we can actually face some resistance right at this level here at about 94.72 before a continuation to the downside, similar to what happened here. Okay, we actually can reclaim the outside of the 14-day, then come right back. Okay, so in this particular iteration, you can see that we were all the way down here right before it, right at this point, looking very bullish at that. Just mind this, okay? This is very important. We were facing the downside here, but then we were also in that gravitational zone. So we faced the support from the gravitational zone, then we rose to the top, found the resistance from our gap, and then we capitulated to the downside, okay? So resistance found not only from the gap, but also from the 14-day moving average, okay? So lots of things to take into consideration when you are practicing the price action, okay? There's a correlation would essentially be the most important thing for a trader, okay? So if you can see rhyming, if you can see historical values, inflection points, all of those things are just very, very important for your trade. Leroy Jenkins, I started trading about a year ago. Me too, man. So let's go ahead and now consider the downside by moving on to the buy hourly. Okay, so let's see what the buy hourly has to tell us. The buy hourly absolutely suggesting a continuation to the downside, and it's now reaching that gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, okay? Very likely we can find a continuation down. I do like the fact that this buy hourly is in a bullish formation, but like I said, you guys, in these shorter time frames, we don't want to rely on candle analysis too much, okay? So this is an important note for you. If you're relying on candle analysis on anything below a daily, then know that the chances of its failure are a lot greater than they would be when looking at them above the daily and the daily, okay? Definitely important for you to for you to consider, right? So now let's move on to the 6 hour and see what it's got for us. The 6 hour is, let's see, there we go, still suggesting downside continuation here, and the moving average has been crossed, of course, and now we're entering that bear strength the bear weakness percentile. So still suggesting some downside. This price action essentially flashed the RSI or the momentum today. Okay, so that's why it's still suggesting that downside. And 12 hour also making a bearish cross below this 14-day moving average. This is likely to be bearish all day tomorrow, potentially a short upside in the immediate short term, meaning within the earlier side of the session, whatever that may be, followed by just capitulation. Okay, so the daily also suggesting some downside, but this is the one that makes me curious, okay, because you can see that the downside here is limited. Okay, so we're looking at the 14-day simple moving average above that gravitational zone and well within the bear weakness percentile. So that means that we can actually find that bounce from that 14-day. Okay, we can recover it, get that thrust from the gravitational zone of the bear weakness shallow area, and then continue on that ascent. Okay, as you can see, we've been using that 14-day as a guide towards the upside. Okay, so this is important to notice as well. Let's go into the buy daily, see how much upside we have. Limited downside faced on the buy daily as well, which means that there could be some upside in the upper term. Okay, so limited downside on that 3-day, 5-day limited even still. Wow. Okay, you guys. So, what this is, yeah, the monthly would be the closest area for us to see a type of recovery, and that is still in the works, and it would not be done for another 12 days and 15 hours, which is yet again a huge amount of time. And man, I mean, so far this candle on the monthly, let me block out all the drawings. See this huge spinning top doji right here. So pretty much you can in the monthly time frame, it's pretty much where you can actually start to predict things, okay? And I'm talking about predict, not forecast. It would be on the monthly, okay? So if you're going to consider anything, consider your monthly time frame. Okay, so as you can see, we are definitely riding this descending channel on the monthly, and it looks like we still have some more validations to the downside to consider. Okay, so be very careful with your longs on ticker symbol APRN. Okay, those are my targets right now. Let's go ahead and finish up that ticker now and move on to the next one. Okay, so let's see what we got. That was ending. I don't even remember what time I started this one. We're gonna end it at 10:35 p.m. right? That was ticker symbol APRN. So guys, I want to take a look at, for the overclockaholics, I want to take a look at that ticker symbol CTXR. So actually first let's start with OZSC, right? Very awesome donation from you overclockaholics. Thank you. Thank you for your consideration. I really appreciate you. The daily time frame here. Actually, let's see if we have any. Of course we don't, since this is essentially a very tiny cap. Mark Roach coming through with that 1026. Okay, very nice of you, bro. Thank you so much. Okay, so officially, we're going to officially start OCO. We need to take a note of that as well for the overclocks. And that's going to be starting ticker symbol OZSC. That is a mouthful. 10:38 p.m. is when we're starting this one right over here. Okay, so wow, man. This appears to be overextended already, but always look at your historical values, you guys, okay? So know that the position that we're currently sitting in is at about 85% RSI, okay? We still have this iteration back here from January 2021, right around there. We can actually go up to about 96% RSI, so there's still significant room for upside on the OZSC asset, okay? So let's go ahead. Yeah, I got my glasses on this time, bro. My goodness, I definitely retrieved them from my parents. I said, stop jacking me. I got them. Okay, so a couple things to keep in mind, okay? Because this may be the biggest fake out of human history, okay? So, and the reason why I'm saying this is because we have a descending channel and we have test number. Are you kidding me? Guys, if I lose you, I'm sorry, okay? We have test number 1, we have test number 2, and if this is test number 3, in fact, okay, but I'm saying there's confusion here because of this, okay? Hold on. Right over here, we have another candle that could be that test number 4 where we reclaimed it, and then we came right back up, okay? Remember, guys, if I lose you, I'll come right back on. Just give me about 2 minutes, but it looks like the power is still chilling. All right, so this could potentially be technically that test number 3, right? Followed by the test number 4 breakout, which could be the reason why we're moving on to that upside. Okay, so I mean, it's still looking good, but we have to consider the possibilities here, okay? So this one's a tough one. I'm not going to lie for 1 second. So we're going to rely on momentum to tell us what that deal is, okay? So let's start off with the immediate short-term time frame, okay? So we are looking at, let's see. Oh, this is beautiful. Very nice price structure here. And the 30 minutes still suggesting, this is actually a small pullback suggested by the 30 minute. But guys, this is very natural. This is absolutely the way you want to see price action raise. You don't want to have impulsive price action because that way no one knows where it's going and no one knows where it's going to stop because FOMO is way too real. But you can see that the SMA 10 has been that guiding factor towards the upside. Okay, this is that that saving grace. All right, so if we are looking at any type of weakness in the immediate short-term time frame, please remember that I don't like to look at candle structures in the short term, but when it's necessary, it's necessary. Okay, we have what could be potentially an evening star doji printing right on that 30-minute iteration here. Okay, to be considered an evening star, I would actually like this candle to be more up here and more alone, right? But it still poses that risk. The lower wicks, right? Those are signals of weakness. So if we're looking for a downside here, very much it can be a slow downside to catch that 14-day simple before a continuation to the upside, which eventually would be around the, let's see, 102. So 1 cent. So 0102 would essentially be that area. Okay. So, but this is very beautiful price action. In fact, it's almost artistic. It's like a symphony. Okay. This is wonderful. Okay, so now let's go ahead and now pull up that bi-hourly chart and see what we have. Still following that very nice price structure. Let's load up some EMAs and see what we can gain as far as a type of edge right here. So in the bi-hourly, it looks like we've actually been trading the EMA 7 more closely than that SMA 10. Okay, this is the importance of having your moving averages in consideration. Okay, so yes, very nice price structure. Still suggests this is suggesting a little bit of sideways trading. It looks a little bit like maybe are we oversold? Are we overextended here? And to tell you the very honest truth, it looks like if there were any other iterations to consider, again, it would be that January iteration to where we in the bi-hourly again 97 spot 65%, and we're sitting currently at about 88. So there's still massive room to the upside to consider for OZSC. Okay, so let's move on down the line and see what else we have. Okay, so let's see what the 6 hour says in momentum. Tiny little sideways pivot here, but please know that we can't give this too much credit whatsoever. These are likely to correct to the upside when they are so small like this. Okay, but again, because we're so overextended here, you don't want to get caught in the itch. Okay, you don't want to get caught in that itch to where some dude just says, I'm going to sell my 4 million shares today, and this just goes to the downside, right? So be careful with that, okay, you guys? So now let's move on and look at that 12 hour and see if there's any potentials of any risk over here. So it's funny how in the 6 hour, 12 hour, sorry, it ignored. Oh, it didn't ignore it. Actually played off very, very simply a drive of. Let's see. Actually, no, it wouldn't even be it. So yeah, there's still no actual confirmed drives of bearish divergence. And in fact, the only one that would start to give us a little bit of a little curious itch would be actually this iteration here from the candle high right over here. Okay, so we would actually see that we would essentially be making that lower high price action and higher high momentum. Okay, so if that's going to play out, then that would essentially be the area to look out for. But know for a fact that I am still not biased towards the downside, because these, like, again, these pivots when they're like this, I can't validate those. Okay, I can't give it too much strength whatsoever, actually. Okay, you guys, so please know that the possibilities of a continuation to the upside are just as relevant as a downside. Okay, but everything is still pointing to the upside. Okay, so to be more clear, that upside could potentially continue let's see, by the end of this week. So if we're going to face a little consolidation here or upside, we're going to face some resistance right at that 0120 at the SMA 100. And also today we faced resistance from that 50-day moving average on the bi-daily. Okay, so we may face a little bit of an upside and a continuation like this, but that bi-daily is still suggesting huge upside here. And let's see the 3-day, as it should be the same. Huge upside right in the right in the strength of the bulls. 5-day also massive upside. Okay, so yeah, this thing is set to continue for days and days. And upside targets on the particular to the 5-day, I can actually give you some right now. Let's actually take it from the daily. I don't want to get everybody too emotional about this, because if I start saying this is going to $10 from 01 You know, that's not a good thing to express, okay? Especially too when we have some newer traders up in line, okay? So very important area to consider, of course, like I said, the 200-day, or that was a 100-day, sorry. So in this case, we can see that the 200-day simple moving average is smacking between that 1.272 at about 0120 and the 1.618 golden mean at 0131, okay? Very important area of resistance, likely for us to find some type of a retracement pullback, nothing serious. We'll come back and test the 50-day as a support before a continuation to the upside. But if we're talking about like a week from now, I'm sorry, no, 2 weeks from now to 3 weeks from now, my target for you would essentially be the candle high here, which is absolutely at our golden mean and between the 3.272 and the 3.618, as you can see. So I'll give you that range to the top of that candle, and that would essentially be between 0184 to 0198, potential wick up to the 4.618 at 02, so breaking the 2-cent level before an immediate rejection, and then essentially coming back to test this range here, or the current highs before a continuation. Okay, so this is still looking very bullish. Reaccumulation could likely be tomorrow. Okay, so very good for OZSC. So let me go ahead and officially finish this ticker right now. That was for the Overclockaholics. Thank you so much for everything that you have done. That was a very kind donation, my friend. I really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and now move along to the ticker symbol CTXR, right? So let's make a note of this as well. That was also for that name. Perfect. So let's see, CTXR. Let's see what it's got under the hood. Okay, so I started briefly making some notes on this one here, and it could be that we're writing a very, okay, so I'm going to officially start the analysis at 10:48 for ticker symbol CTXR. Okay, so we could potentially be building or breaking out, and this could be actually a huge fake out. Okay, so be careful with this one. Okay, so we're looking at a potential macro scale descending channel. Okay, it is like when people trade these, they know that this is usually a signal that there's a macro reversal happening. In this case, I want to express warning because we have test number 1, 2, and we're at test number 3 right now. Okay, so if all of you know what happens after that test number 3, of course, this would be essentially the bull trap, and it would essentially lead to the biggest capitulation known to humanity. Okay, so be careful with what's happening here. But if we're going to look at momentum and moving averages, we have literally everything below us on the daily, which is absolutely amazing. As long as price action is above that 200 simple, then it's bullish, right? And take a look at the RSI, by the way. Man, this is it's not even overextended just yet. It's barely entering the overbought percentile, and it looks like based on historical iteration, we have a high of about 89%, and we're sitting currently at 70 something. Let's see, 74 and a quarter. Oh my goodness. So if this still has that upside momentum, it could continue heavily. Okay, so let's see let's start off actually with the immediate short term. Okay, so very nice. Cal, take a look at this one, bro. This absolutely has a very nice price structure, like we were looking at on that other ticker, the OZSC. This is actually facing that upward momentum very gradually, and this is a very healthy move. Okay, so I'm just not sure if it's actually going to bull trap people up here, but we're going to continue validating. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, that 30-minute immediate short term is still suggesting upside, and now we got a sharp pivot to the upside, which I don't usually see on that 14-day simple moving average. Usually the 14-day simples do not do these exponential moves. Okay, so this can actually be telling us that there's still more upside to go even in the immediate short term. Okay, so now let's look at the buy hourly. Okay, so the buy hourly recently did that pullback to find support from that 14-day, and still suggesting a massive upside. Okay, this is very good stuff. On the buy hourly, of course, let's see just historically if we have any higher iterations. Of course we do. We have about 90 about 91% on this iteration here. I'm sure there are higher ones, so we still have massive room to continue. All right, 6 hour is let's see, the 6 hour is still suggesting aggressive upside as well. Guys, this is a very cool ticker, and in fact, if we can find some type of immediate short-term entry, I'm gonna go ahead and look at that right now, because this is a great opportunity. We're looking at the prior iteration, similar to the other ones, at about 91%. We're currently sitting on the 6 hour at about 79, so this still has a lot of thrust to go. This is making me very curious over momentum and volatility now. Now the 12 hour, oh, this is aggressive upside on both. Guys, this is a perfect sine wave here. These sine waves are absolutely respected, okay? So this is perfect. This is very beautiful. And now let's go ahead and look at that bi-daily, okay? See the bi-daily also making these sine waves here. Very nice structure that, I mean, we're right in that bull strength percentile, suggesting a continuation to the upside. And it's just so graceful. All right, so now the 3-day also suggesting massive upside, 5-day upside. Wow, man, what is happening with this ticker? It looks like it's in the process of making a massive macro reversal, and in fact, this is actually a typical setup per the Elliott wave cycles. Okay, so if we're looking at Elliott wave cycles here, this is essentially the distribution zone of Wyckoff in combination with the what is it? Let's see, we have X, A, B, C, D. So we're essentially at that D Elliott wave cycle that could actually make us rise essentially to the next highest point. So this could be a macro move that CTXR is currently making. I don't usually practice Elliott wave theory or Wyckoff theory, but those strategies are they're viable, right? They do have success, and yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, unless a whale plays this, then the bull trap would happen, right? But everything per the playbook rules, it's suggesting a massive upside. Okay, so now let's look at the 15-minute and see if we have room for entry somewhere. Oh man, so it would of course be in the 5-minute, which would essentially be immediate short-term time frame, and I think that downside is limited to 129 from the 130 that we are. Okay, so essentially it's suggesting that the entry for this would probably be immediately, right? So if you're already in this ticker, congratulations, because this is going to continue to the upside for a very, very extended amount of days. And I'm going to give you a couple targets right now. Guys, 129 is essentially that entry for this, okay? Not financial advice. I just gave that to you as if I was giving you the scores for the last football game, right? So all right, so yes, that entry 129 just happens to be right at our golden ratio as well. My goodness, slam dunking. You guys, my goodness. I'm going to give this because of the potential of a bull trap, okay? Because of the potential of a bull trap. Because at any point some whale could short this, or some whale could release all of their profits, right? I'm going to have to give this a B+, okay? So this is a B+ rating on the trade, okay? So, and usually if you know my strategy on B+ trades, I tend to go, don't follow me on this, okay? Because my bankroll is not the same as yours, okay? Mine is significantly smaller, okay? But I would play it in larger bankrolls as well, just like the way I'm going to iterate right now. But B+ trades are usually 65-75% portfolio for me. Okay, so that doesn't mean it has to be you. Okay, so now I mean, this is slam dunking. Okay, so this is a very, very good play. It is high risk. It is very tiny. Okay, so know that potential is absolute. That risk is always there. Okay, but long 129, then you could. Let's see, potentially after holding this overnight is also a huge risk call in the zone. But I mean, this could maybe be that exception, right? We can even see this up to about $1.56 to $1.62. I'm talking in a few days, and then it's per the resistance of these this high right here. I'm just going up to the 2-spot 618. I'm sorry. I see these things long before I suggested, right? So I'm looking at the resistance levels of these candles right over here. I see the opening of this candle over here and lots of other room. Okay, so also all of that is in line with the 2-spot 618, and then it just so happens to have the 2-spot 272 under it, which just so happens to be a lot of areas of resistance as well. That's why I'm suggesting this is the first. The first stop would essentially be the 1-spot 618, no matter which way we look at it, but this is likely to find support at the 1-spot 272 or our current highs before a continuation onto the upside to the actual target I'm eyeballing of about $1.62. But if we're looking at further down the line, then it just so happens that the 3-spot 272 is landing at these support levels and these resistance levels for these candles. Okay, so this would be the second area of take profit. All right. And now your runners would essentially be at the resistance level of our high, of the 201 high. Okay, I didn't even have to draw that. That's per the algorithm on TradingView. Okay, so I would just honestly give you all these resistance touches that happen to be at that 2-spot 236, 4-spot 236, and then the 4-spot 618 golden mean, but we would just go naturally up to that top candle at about 201. Okay, so these are my targets for this trade. This is very, very interesting. Okay, so thank you so much, Overclockaholics, for putting this play on the table here, because there is some money to be made here. And just know that if you are going to play this, stop loss would essentially be set at just under the not 236. So I would personally put it at about $1.18. Stop entry 129. Take profit 1, 2, and 3 for runners. All right, you guys. So this is good. This is absolutely good. I give this a B+, and we shall continue. I'm also going to start putting the ratings on the timestamps as well, as I think that could be a pretty good thing here for us, right? Mark Roach reminding me, of course, my brother, that is definitely not financial advice. If you are new to the chat, definitely consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we can always make some more calls like these, right? So let's go ahead and now move on to our next ticker. And this is a very popular ticker that I know a lot of people have been wanting to talk about, right? Samantha backing me with the idea of putting the ratings of the tickers. So actually, Samantha, that you're saying that, I take that into high consideration, because you're really meticulous and you're really detailed with the things you do. So I should actually just maybe continue grading all the tickers as I go moving forward, right? So from this point on. All right, so B+ CTXR, sorry, and it has finished at 10:56 p.m. Good stuff. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Overclockaholics. That was a very nice donation, and it's certainly going to go a long way here for my family. Okay, so now let's look at Save Pop Culture and many others who have been asking me for that ticker symbol GNS. Okay, so let's see what GNS has to offer for us. Okay, I don't think I've even made a load for that one just yet. Let me see. GNS. Do I have? Oh, it looks like we've already looked at it one time. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Okay, so of course this is a cup and handle. All right, so man, you guys, this is so it did. Man, it's been days since we looked at it. Then good stuff, and it did reach our take profit 1. And it looks like we're facing a huge pullback, but why are we facing that pullback? Other than the fact, obviously, that we're at resistance. So yeah, let's go ahead and now look into the details of GNS. I'm going to officially start this ticker at 10:57 p.m. Okay, let's start it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my previous fibs here from the last analysis that we did. But now, if you remember when I gave you the targets based on the cup and handle, which is actually a trend line that you can take from the top of the cup all the way to the lower end of the cup, right? And then you apply it to the handle top, and that would give you that take profit. So you can see that the daily candle that happened right after our analysis here actually just went right above it. So this cup and handle did realize to the upside, faced some more upside per our geometrical levels, right, at the 1.272, and then we retraced naturally, okay? So I know that we have the daily with a huge gap between the RSI signal and the 14-day moving average, but please know that this is not a guarantee that it can go all the way down here, okay? Because if we are just basing this off of a daily trade, then yeah, the potential of dropping all the way to the 14-day is in line, and that could be actually in accordance with with the 40-cent level, okay, from 53 cents. Okay, so now let's go ahead and just validate the downside, starting with the immediate short term, right? So immediate short term time frame is suggesting a little bit of a downside. We're still actually reacting to that 14-day simple as that form of a resistance, okay, or a guide towards the way down. So this essentially started happening from the high, okay? So when we reached that 1.272, we actually started retracing and then started using that 14-day moving average as that guide towards the downside, okay? I don't have to say this out loud, but I would like to just iterate it to you guys because that's generally how I look at things in the market, right? Bi-hourly time frame looks like it has a limited upside. Now, if you can actually correlate the RSI signal to the 14-day simple, you can actually see that the current price action to the SMA 10 may be that resistance touch. Okay, so that's, again, guys, this is discretionary. Okay, so sometimes we have to exercise or really flex our discretionary side before we can apply some mathematics into it. So reading and feeling the market cycle, understanding its own price action, okay, before validating downsides with any other way, which I already see another way, and I'm sure that not many of you are probably looking at what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so we are looking at a potential upside here, and it's very limited. Okay, so this is likely to live out really fast. I'll come back to what I'm looking at. Okay, so let's look at the 6 hour now. And the 6 hour is suggesting a downside continuation. It also looks to be limited as we do have that 14-day below us, okay? And that 14-day could very much be in line with the NOT 618 at 48.28 alongside the SMA 10, okay? I'm not going to draw the areas of support just yet, but I want to just make sure that we can continue gathering our puzzle pieces and then make a conscious decision as to where we could potentially land. Okay, so there is a downside suggestion as well on that 12 hour. And it looks like it's pretty much a significant ways away to that 14-day, which can actually mean that it would essentially be within, let's see. Yeah, it would actually be between the NOT 786 at 43.57 to the SMA 10 at about 44.34, possible wick down to 40.95 or 41 cents. Okay, so now let's keep on piecing this, okay, because there could be an upside continuation later. Particularly here, the 3-day is still suggesting upside, okay, and it has not been affected, and it's over in about 13 hours. In about 14 hours, this 3-day iteration will subside, right, or it's going to end, right? So 5-day is, let's see, probably all the way down here, not credible enough, not enough information for us to consider, but there is still upside to look at here, okay? So I would honestly, now that I'm looking at this in the manner that I am looking at it, let's go back to the daily. Actually, let's go back to the bi-hourly and show you what is giving me the downside as well, okay? So let's go ahead and block out the SMAs, and if you can see it already, good job. If you don't, then you will now see per what I'm about to show you. Okay, let's see it in the hourly. And let's now load up Heikin-Ashi candles because it's very hard to spot this, okay? So let's see what the Heikin-Ashis do for us, okay? So this is essentially a broadening ascending wedge, okay? So we're just going to do it in a very, very discretionary manner like this and draw the genesis of this, right? Actually, yeah, we would actually have to use this one here. And man, I don't think I can use that one actually. It would be probably this one. And let's see if it lines up nicely. Okay, so yeah, it lines up very much perfectly. The touch points that I'm looking at, if you're curious, is the wick high of this tiny candle and the wick low of this candle here. Why am I looking at those? Is because this is a test of the support. This is a test of the resistance. Okay, so that is usually how I am able to look at these the price action. Okay, so David Parr. After this, we're going to be looking at that CRTD and GTII. Okay, my friend. So let's go ahead and now take a look at this downside. Okay, so if there is a downside here, because we are practicing the golden rule of three, you have 1, 2, 3 tests followed by that capitulation. We're failing it just like always. Testing that resistance, right? And then that continuation to the downside. If this realizes the way it should be, but it's not as credible because it's in the hourly, very tiny time frame here. Okay, so now the downside could essentially be found at about the genesis of the formation, which would be about 3162. Okay, so my areas of interest are not 3162. However, I am going to express the danger to you there, okay? But this looks like it's getting ready to make a downside, and that downside that I gave you earlier is absolutely still viable. Okay, so I am still looking at that 786 at about 43.57, and potentially, I'm saying potentially, down to the 1 fib at about 41.67 with that wick down to 40.90. Okay, so we have that range, 41 cents to 45. Okay, but before a potential bounce, but remember, we are riding that ascending broadening wedge on the hourly, so it's not as credible, but it looks like it's already playing out to the downside. All right, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol GNS. Okay, and we ended this ticker at 11:05 p.m. And all right. Perfect. So let's go ahead and now move on to ticker symbol CRTD. Okay, so this is a ticker that, oh man, this is the one that actually gave me that grief in Twitter, because when we were, I'm just gonna give you a quick little story here, because when we were up here, literally this candle, or this one up here, I don't know when it was. It was definitely up here though. We were at about 88 cents, and I said in a video that there is downside to this, because this is not. This is. Yes, it is in essence an ascending triangle, right? But this is a bear flag. This is a typical setup for a bear flag. Why? Because it's after a downtrend. Okay, so when we're making this structure happen after a downtrend, that means it's a continuation pattern. Meaning that I explained it in the video too. I literally said that it was going to be price action like this, up like this, up like this, right? So that's kind of what I was looking at. But are we going to still validate that downside? Okay, so let's see. All right. No, David. No, not at all, my friend. I know exactly. Some people actually expressed that to me as well, and I actually did visit the Short the VIX and Gabe. They had a live stream today in the morning, and I was, as I was falling asleep, I stepped in and I wanted to say hi to Diana, because Diana and I, we know each other. She runs the books and stuff for Short the VIX and Gabe, right? So she said, "Arca, nice to see you here," right? And I gave a quick little tip as to where to enter, right, for the ticker symbol FFIE. And the moderators actually told me, "Hey, Arca, maybe we try to keep the penny stocks out of this because of potential pumps, right?" And actually, that's something that I've talked to Cal about as well here, and that actually opened my eyes, and I started to notice that maybe I'm gonna have to start considering the same here. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the audience for the Arca brand, or the Arca family, right? The Arca Bulls family is growing significantly at an exponential rate. So this is now starting to worry me for the retail. So I don't want to put out some information that essentially pressures the markets up or down. So now I'm at a turning point to where I may have to start looking at a little bit more of a higher end stocks. You know what I mean? Stocks that are not so low float, or not capitalized at very micro levels, right? So it's so that we can make sure that retail can be safe, because overall it would be for retail, not for me. You know what I mean? So this is something that I actually was going to bring up to my moderators later on tonight. But moderators, if you're listening, this is actually a concern that actually was literally just sparked into my brain earlier today because I was in the Short the VIX live stream. And they said, no, we just don't want to pump some of those stocks because they're, because of whatever else. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, that's a heavy potential here for Arca in the immediate future. Okay, so David, definitely not looking at you like you're pressuring. In fact, I can see the urgency within my spectrum to maybe not express so much of a deep opinion within these tiny stocks, right? But anyway, I want to go ahead and yes, please, Samantha, if you have a question about the impact, I would gladly like to start a conversation between me, you, and Cal, and eventually, if Mark Roach does eventually become the moderator as well, we'll also include him into that conversation too. But yes, that's absolutely in the cards, you guys. So whoever is in the chat right now, just know that we are potentially going to start making moves towards higher profile stocks, more. I want to look at the blue chips too, of course, always, right? But just higher capitalization is what I'm trying to say. So where we have no impact on the broader markets, okay? We don't want to be pumpers. We want to make sure that as soon as we do reach that threshold in audience, right? So, the Arca brand has grown to about 4,000, almost 200 people within just about a span of about 3 months. Okay, so within that 3 months, if it grew that exponentially, then we have to consider maybe diminishing the lower end stocks and kind of look into the higher end stuff for our protection as well as yours. Okay, exactly. Mark Roach pointing out Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Disney, literally like those. Netflix, we have to look into those meta platforms, and then everything would be good. Okay, and then in those plays, this type of analysis absolutely sticks harder than it does within these. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. David Parr, NVIDIA is actually NVIDIA is another one of those that we can take a look at. Okay. The airline tickers too. Okay. All of those present great opportunities. Microsoft, you know what I mean? All good tickers. All right. So now let's go ahead and officially start the ticker symbol CRTD, and I want to make sure. Thank you, David. I'm sure that we can make an impact there as I'm already impressed enough that the tiny micro caps are actually following my projections, because that's not known to be the case all the time. Okay, so Cal L is saying, in my opinion, we should keep the analysis in okay. So in the micros, is that what you're saying, bro? So strictly within the Discord is just with the micros, right? So somebody actually did point that out, that I actually posted that I posted the image of CRTD instead of a video yesterday. So that's absolutely something that we can continue, within the Discord. So this can actually encourage more people to join and come in and just look at the potentials, right? So yeah, we can keep them down there in the Discord for now, right? So then when the Discord starts to reach 10,000 people, then maybe we can start to be a little more cautious about that as well. All right, you guys, but I'm very happy that everyone is still here in the chat and listening to these tickers, or listening to these suggestions, because guys, you're witnessing the growth of this channel and essentially the development of it. Okay, lots of stuff in play here for everybody. Okay, so yeah, you guys. So now back to the ticker symbol CRTD. Per David Parr's request, of course. So let me just go ahead and now make that space for David and look at ticker symbol CRTD officially starting at 11:12 p.m. for the timestamps, right? Perfect. So, okay, so this is a bear flag we are looking at per my analysis, okay? Everybody will have a different opinion and a different outlook of this. Of course, it's an ascending triangle, and whatever else, okay? I get it. We do, the reason why I consider this to be a bear flag is because of the downside. Just reiterating here, okay? We are after a downside. We're looking at this price formation that usually signals a continuation to the downside when formed after a downside, okay? So in this case, I did mention in my last video for CRTD that we would essentially be finding support between the two spot 272 and I think there was a gap over here in a smaller time frame. This is why I suggested the 60-cent zone. Okay, so you can see that the day after I suggested the downside, it actually came to test right at that level, at that 67.56. Very curious. Okay, so now we are printing another candle here, and it has now introduced another break of market structure. Okay, now why do I say break of market structure? Because if you're looking at it on the bi-daily like we are right now, we're creating these bi-daily iterations with higher lows. Okay, so these lows are continuing to the upside, and then we broke that market structure, and then we broke that market structure yet again. Now, arguably, you can actually look at this as just another higher low based on a more macro perspective, right? So you can argue that this is connected to this area right here. But the problem with that is that it's only these two candles that would be connected. Okay, so in between is where you need the touches of validation in order for you to even you know, pretend that you're within that formation in the first place. Okay, so another indication here in a larger perspective is that I don't want to just put too much worry here on everybody, but this is also, let me just make a quick little drawing for you like this and make another drawing here for you like this, right? Hold on. I'm going to just go ahead and put it like this because it is absolutely in line there. So if we're considering, I'm just saying, okay, if we're considering this could actually be the start of another bear flag in a macro scale. Okay, so within a tiny one, I'm sorry, overshadowing a tiny one. Okay, don't take that too seriously. It's just speculation right now. It hasn't been validated just yet, but I'm just saying because there is a downtrend, and now we're starting that, you know, that same type of price action that we literally are facing here. Right? It looks like the potential of a larger scale bear flag is at play as well. Okay, but don't go there just yet. Okay, you guys. So what I'm looking at here is just more for the immediate short term, and potentially within a week or two is what I'm looking at. Okay, so the bottom area of support that I'm looking at or eyeballing in the buy daily is the 59-cent zone, of which I expressed 2 days ago, right? So a lot of people said this was a massive downside. In fact, the downside that you would expect for this bear flag is actually found at per a trend line, right? So it would actually be found, let's see, per the break of it. Yeah, so let's just make a quick little adjustment just to be meticulous here, and you can see that we could go down to about 39.35, and it would be in confluence with the genesis of that bear flag itself. Okay, so these panic sells would essentially make that happen, and then a flash wick to that very low level from October 25th is what I'm looking at. Now, I'm not spreading FUD within this. Please don't confuse it with that, okay? Because like I said, I'm just expressing what the charts are telling me. So now let's load up momentum and just take a look at the immediate short term so we can finish up CRTD here, okay? So let's see, momentum is suggesting consolidation, actually sideways trading, and it has been the case for these iterations here. Look at this. This is and the funny thing here is, oh man, you guys, remember, guys, do you remember when I told you to look at your master formation on the SPY, the SPX? You'll notice that we're in that huge downward descending channel, or I'm sorry, the broadening descending wedge. So this applies in micro scales as well, okay? So I just showed you by zooming out, crazy zoom out, right? It looks like we're potentially building this already a bear flag here from a larger perspective, right? And then within that larger perspective, we have this tiny or smaller bear flag in play, right? So now if we can just zoom in at an even smaller level, we'll actually start to notice that after this downtrend right here, we are building another bear flag, okay? So you can actually see it just like this is following that regression very nicely, and it would be essentially from this candle right over here, okay? So I know I always tell you not to practice it within the 30-minute time frames, but you can see that the master formation would essentially be outside of the 5-day period. And as we go into the daily, we'll see this one, right? The larger one, right? And then we can actually zoom in and then start seeing the price action react. So which is essentially telling me that the markets are in a sense fractal. Right, so if that's mathematically the case, then the shorter term time frame fractals would then have to be validated with upper term time frame fractals. Right, so I don't mean to get too crazy with you, but that's essentially what I'm looking at here. Okay, so this is another validation towards the downside, which would essentially take us down to about 63.80. Okay, this is very much in accordance with literally every candle right over here, that 63 cent zone. Okay, so everything is playing geometrically, and yeah, it's mathematically it makes sense. Mathematically, this is absolutely building that. Okay, so now let's continue with our analysis. Let's go to the bi-hourly so we can finish up CRTD and continue. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, we are facing some upside here on the bi-hourly, and it looks to be a little limited. Okay, so if we're considering the limitations of the bi-hourly, we can see right away that we have a bearish cross of the SMA 10 versus the SMA 50, likely an area of resistance before a continuation to the way down. But I need to express to you the hidden little secret here on the bi-hourly. Okay, if we can just make this a little brighter so that everyone can see, right? This is the 100-day simple moving average. Okay, so this is also an area that we can face as just resistance, resistance, resistance. In doing that pump up and down action, this can pump, find that resistance, and then continue without actually making a move all the way up to 72. Okay, so this is another little little pro tip, right? So now let's go into the 6-hour time frame and see what we have. Okay, the 6-hour time frame is suggesting downside as well. Very important to notice the position of your RSI signal, of which is very dim, and we can make it just a little bit brighter, right? Okay, so that downside is absolutely relevant. We're now approaching that gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, suggesting a continuation to the downside. The 14-day moving average is now above us, which is bearish, and now starting to pivot towards the downside. Okay, so this is encouraging a continuation. 12-hour time frame is also suggesting a little bit of a downside, but please know that it's a little bit of a loss in strength here, suggesting more sideways, more consolidation than it is downside. Okay, so the bi-hourly, similar situation here. Let's look at the 3-day to see what else we have. So the 3-day, this is all this is telling me, you guys, is that the downside is more probable to start after another 2 sessions or another session, depending on the panic. Right, so we are using that 14-day simple as a resistance point, and we can actually continue on to the downside. Okay, so 5-day also making a fresh cross now below the 14-day moving average. If we are going to look at this a little bit of in a bullish sense, but please know that the pivots of both of these are suggesting consolidation. If we are facing an upside here, we will not only face the resistance of the 14-day moving average, but also from the gravitational pull from the opposing zone being the bull weakness percentile, okay? So we can actually see that resistance touch here and then a continuation. All right, so yeah, this is, this is really terrible for CRTD. But I am not seeing any upside even in the immediate short term. Well, actually, maybe the 15 minutes. So if there is any type of saving grace, it's going to be immediately. So right as the opening of the trading, that would be essentially when we could find some upside. Okay, so let me load up my exponentials here to see just how close we can get the price action to, in case there is an exit strategy that we need to look for. Okay, actually, we're being looked at as support by that EMA 7. Okay, so all right, man, because this is such a tiny little time frame, I'm going to take into consideration the print of our 15-minute iteration. Actually, you know what? I'll take it from the entire swing high to the swing low of this bear flag, and this way I can give you a more accurate upside target. Okay, so my best case scenario here is going to be from the, let me see what this one is, the SMA 50. Yeah, this is the SMA 50. Okay, so these are my targets for you. SMA 50 at about 69.68 to the 1 spot 272. Best case scenario, 773. if you want to extend that best case scenario, then there is absolute confluence here between the wick high and the closing of this candle here and the 1.618 at 72.55. But I'm not sure that it can actually reach that, as the algos have already taken over the trading here. Okay, so this is actually giving the longs a type of hopium, and price action could actually fail and continue to the downside, but while gathering more liquidity. Okay, so this is very, very interesting. So David Parr saying, meeting today had some curious news. Could that make a difference? Depending on how pertinent the news is. If it's not so influential, then it's not going to make any difference to the shorter term. But in fact, if the news is great, then I'm talking about great in a sense fundamentally for the company, right? If it's favoring the company in a long-term perspective, and that would essentially make a difference for the year from now, not for the week from now or 2 weeks from now. Okay, so usually fundamental catalysts, they're set to a very minimum that actually give some room for price action to realize, and that those catalysts would be limited to maybe acquisitions, mergers, partnerships. You can even look into a change of CEO or a change of staff. Okay, so when you're looking at fundamental metrics like those would be a little more influential, and also your earnings, right? So, and I'm talking about, it would have to be a massive beat or a massive miss in order for it to be affected into the price action short term. And in fact, those are actually playing inversely now. So you're right. The merger with GTII was already pre-priced in, though. So that was the news that we were getting for that upside 3,000% that we only ended up releasing of 353% of. Okay, so that was already priced in. So now the fact that it's already priced in and coming back, what we're looking at right now is called a mean reversion. So it's coming back to the bear market mean. Okay, so wherever that price may be, that can be figured with the market capitalization and the current price, the current trading price, right? I forgot how exactly to do it, but there's a way to figure out that mean. But other than that, 8K filings, 13Ks, 13Gs, all of those filings don't have too much to play into consideration for price action in the immediate short term. Okay, so aside from that, I still see some downside continuation here. But if you're looking at it from a macro perspective, remember this, David, that we're essentially just, this is just it's a blip. You know what I mean? Looking at it in this perspective, let me just get the drawings out of the way. If we do face a capitulation event, which the lowest levels that I can honestly see and let me see the weekly. The weekly, yes. And this is already, and actually let me go to the monthly because I can consolidate this a little deeper. First of all, it's good to look at the monthly because this is essentially where we can start to do predictive movements. Okay, so if you're looking at a macro scale, long hold type of position, investment, not trade. Okay. Please notice that we have built a monthly bullish engulfing. Okay, this is absolutely a bullish statement. Okay, and not to mention the fact that it is at a 52-week low and it actually fast recovered. This is also considered in Wyckoff as a terminal shakeout or the spring. So this means that the lows that we would be facing with this in consideration would be limited to about 41 cents. Okay, so in a geometrical target, we can actually see or imply that, right? So we can take a monthly to, let me see where that candle low is. Okay, so where is it? So the low of the candle is 59.01 to the high of 88.90. So let me see how close I can get because this is going to be very tough on a monthly perspective. Oh my goodness. There we go. I think that's going to be as close as I can do it. So I just said that we can go down to what? I forgot the target. So we would be limited to that 41 cent zone. Look at the 1.618. The 1.618 is landing at 42.25, and also look at my own discretionary support. So this is essentially the lows that I'm looking for. If we're looking at further validations to the downside, and I'm talking about shorter term time frame downsides, meaning that if you're looking at daily areas of supply and demand per traders, then sure, there is room to come back down to our lowest level of demand, right? Which would actually be the terminal shakeout of this iteration here on September 2022 of 14 cents. But this is not realistic for me, and I don't even think it has the pressure or the juice to get down that low, since the merger is in play. Hence why I'm mentioning the merger now in longer term downsides, So in that way, I can apply the merger, but into this price action, it already happened. So my lowest target is still relevant to 36 to 41, and it's very much at the golden mean. And also, not to mention now, I didn't even look at the monthly myself. Now that I'm looking at it with you, it's this spinning top doji over here, and that's the low right there at 41.50. So it's funny how everything kind of rhymes and kind of comes together later. So I'm looking at it in a very non-emotional, practical way. You know what I mean? Using some basic candle analysis and some relevant support levels. All right, so this is why I can see that the downside is probable. Not only that, is that usually when you start to print candle structures that have long wicks to the upside like this, a pullback is always needed. Okay, so in this case, I know that we still have 12 days, 14 hours to complete this doji that we're on. But usually when we print these types of candle wicks like this to the upside, this is, the three black crows candle formation, very basic candle formation and candle analysis, and suggests a downside to the next relevant support before a continuation to the upside. So what we're going to be looking at may feel like the biggest nightmare in the world, but in fact, it's just reaccumulation. In fact, it's just the standard or the basics of statistics right now. We're looking at a normal distribution into then a very healthy accumulation again, so that we can essentially start that cycle, that sine wave all over again. Okay, so it's very practical. It's very easy to see it too. I'm not saying that we're gonna go there. I'm just saying that the probabilities are a little higher for it. So I know that I spent a little bit more time on CRTD than I normally do, but David, I hope that I did answer some of those questions from more of a statistical perspective than I would in a fundamental perspective, right? So it's good to kind of merge both, and then that would give you a serious edge. But in my personal opinion, I don't use fundamental metrics unless there were something as huge as the CRTD and GTII merger, right? So David Parr says, I learn a lot here. You're extremely intelligent. Thank you, David. I really appreciate that from you, my friend. So now, with that said, I want to touch on GTII as well. Okay, so that would officially mean that CRTD has now ended at 11:31 p.m. Okay, so now let's look at ticker symbol GTII. Okay, that's another one that's been giving Arca some grief, but it's okay. All right, you guys. I tend to want to make friends from the grief givers. I want to show them that there could be another way to look at the markets, and I'm not a short seller. In fact, I'm encouraging ways to kill the shorts. All right, although I am also a short bias trader, but I've never shorted equities. I've only shorted crypto futures, right? And those are short-term scalps, very, very small gains. You know what I mean? So it's good practice. Anyway, so this is actually something that I wanted to present that I have not in a GTII video. Hold on, let me take a sip. All right, so we're going to officially start the GTII analysis at 11:32 p.m. for David. Let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, you guys. So this is a perspective that I wanted to show, and it's something that I haven't actually. Okay, some of you who have already been Matt Gomez, thank you so much for showing up, my bro. Hit that like button. All right, you guys. So what I have noticed is that I'm sorry, if you already saw it in the Twitter Spaces, I already made this analysis on a thread. Okay, so this was, I don't know when it was. This was a while ago. So I put up a quick little response to somebody that asked me a very in-depth question and very intelligent question that I felt compelled to answer, because they actually asked me with charts. They asked me with back tests. They asked me, Besso, are you laughing because I just said what's up to Matt Gomez real quick? Anyway, so that question was presented to me very nicely. It was considerate of them to ask that. So I felt compelled to answer the question as such. Okay, so I answered the question with this drawing that I haven't showed in the video just yet, because this would essentially just create panic, right? So I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I wanted to give it to you guys, since I'm now starting to limit the amount of GTII videos that I will put up, period, because it's just too much animosity, too much emotion, and emotion of which I don't want any part of, right, you guys? So I will happily respect the requests here live, of course. So now let's go ahead and look at that. Yeah, Matt, you're a little late, man, but it's all good, dude. We are still moving along. So check out this GTII here, okay? So this is a broadening descending wedge, okay? Practicing, it is practicing that golden rule of three, and this was essentially the move that was made from down here at 40, 42, 45 cents, whatever it was, all the way up to that 8.97 was essentially the bull trap that that happened. What was it again? Sorry, guys. It was a 43 cent to $9 run that everybody was so excited about. But if we were looking at it then, in this perspective, we would have already known. We would have, like in this group, right? Everybody who watches me regularly would have already known that, hey, Arca, this is actually test number 3. What happens after test number 3? Well, the biggest capitulation event happens after test number 3. And remember, I always mention this as well. When we break an area of inflection, a support, a very important support at that, this would be our inflection point, okay? So when we break it, the retracement to test that as a viable area of resistance is absolutely required, especially on a 5-day, okay? That doesn't always happen on the shorter term timeframes, but when we're looking at the 5-day macro periods, yes, it matters, okay? So please notice your connecting dots here. You have the connector right up here. You have test number 1, test number 2, and you have this huge test 3 followed by the capitulation and retest. Look at the candle touching that. I mean, I'm talking about perfectly, right? It came right back up to that resistance touch, acknowledging, meaning that's telling us that psychologically speaking, all of the traders that are trading GTII professionally, I'm talking about whales, okay, big money, they saw this already, and it matches a lot of geometric levels as well. It's not only the shape, it's not only the formation, but the average of the wick high of this candle ended right at that area, is because that's where it's statistically averaged the ending of the candle to be at. Okay, so upon that validation with a 5-day doji, by the way, that downside was more than imminent. Okay, so now that we're looking at the higher term timeframes, please pay attention to your 200-day simple moving average here, because the 200-day is very important in the price action. Okay, as long as we are in a macro scale above the 200-day moving average, things are bullish. We have freshly crossed that today, and we are now converting that 200-day into a resistance level. We don't want to do that. Okay, but it's already happening. So now that it's present, then this is why I can suggest the continuation to the downside. The way I'm presenting it in the videos that I release publicly is a really passive way, and it's actually in consideration to people who are trapped in it. This being that manner, okay? I'm presenting it to everybody in a sense of a right-angled triangle, okay, or a descending triangle. So this is my more friendly way to show you how a market cycle can work. Okay, so in this case, we do have several areas of interest. First of all, starting at 61, 62 cents, right around there. We have about, we have about 45 cents to about 49. And after this touch would be our broadening descending wedge support, which would essentially take us down to about 30 cents. If you guys are curious and you want to see through my posts on Twitter, you'll see that I say this, and the comments that were received from that person who posed a very good argument to me. We're a little shocked. Everybody was like, "Oh no, you think that we can actually go back down to that area?" Well, it's not a matter of thinking, okay? It's a matter of practice. It's a matter of time, and it's a matter of math, right? So, in this case, the targets. I haven't said this out loud in the video, by the way. I didn't want to because I don't want to express any type of panic. Okay, you guys. So, but yeah, my essential targets would be between, first of all, between 62 to 64 cents to 45, right? Being that first area. In failing this triangle, the right angle triangle, then I'm not saying that it's going to fail it. In fact, this is it's pretty much a bullish. This is a bullish formation right now. Okay, so maybe we can wick down into that 30-cent area. And then we could recover this, use this as a form of support at that 45-cent zone since we've tested it so many times. And then we can make the breakout to the upside. And the breakout is of particular interest to a lot of people. If we take it from the usual place of about 70 to 75%, which is typical for any formation, right? Take the trend line from the hypotenuse of the triangle, right? And then you take it all the way to the lowest point. And then you apply that trend line to the breakout supposed area. And what that is, my goodness, what is happening here? So what that is saying, geez, can I get it there or no? Wow. Okay, so what that essentially is giving us is the target of $18 that I've been talking about for a very long time. And this capitulation to the downside would be essentially mathematically required for it to reset the conditions and the criteria for a statistical upside thrust. So this is I don't want to say that in videos, you guys. I don't want to say that because I get attacked, you know, and people take it as though I'm part of the market makers or I'm a short seller myself, when in fact I don't even have enough money to short it. You know, I have the skills to look at it and express it. But I don't have that cash. I don't have nearly enough capital for me to consider anything as a margin account, or I can only trade, just to put it to you this way, I can only trade 3 times a week. And if you know your rules, the PDT rule, you know what that consists of, okay? So I'm not expressing this in any manner other than just mathematically, right? So know for a fact that what I'm giving to you is absolutely unbiased and it doesn't have anything to do with me holding any positions. So it should validate it more because I don't have open positions on this, you know? I got stopped out long ago. So in this case, I could still see that the reason why we were facing some consolidation was because we were at that 200, you know, and bouncing off it over and over until we finally decided to kind of move below it and now start using it as a form of resistance. Okay, so this is imperative to the longs, okay, because this can now kind of give you a forecast and give you an understanding as to how to remove risk and then move accordingly or appropriately. So again, you guys, I'm not looking at this in any type of emotional manner. I'm actually looking at this in a mathematical perspective. And a lot of people say that, Arca, you called it. You called the downside on CRTD, or you called the downside and the upside on this. Guys, I didn't call it. In fact, I didn't. What I ended up expressing was what the math said, not what I said. It wasn't my discretion. It was actually math that ended up giving me that, and then a part of that was luck. Okay, so it's absolutely not me. Okay, so some people can look at that as being humble or showing humility, but I'm really not. I'm really telling you the honest truth. If we can start looking at the game of trading as a more probabilities game, then we can actually gain a serious edge. And math absolutely helps with that. Okay, you guys, so that's essentially what I'm looking at for GTII. I feel like I owe it to the GTII community to make to make an extended thread like that, right? Because they have given me so many followings, so many likes and comments and stuff, and a lot of grief as well. As it feels like a whole relationship with with the wife. They, you know, you get the grief, you get the good times, you get the whips, and you get the and then you get the meals. You know, so man, it's GTII is tough, guys. That's my warning to everybody, you know, and take it as you will, but it's an honest opinion, and that's all I can give. Matt Gomez coming in with a very kind donation, my friend. I really appreciate you, my dude. Thank you so much for that. And what else did you say? So Matt Gomez, he says, my brother, I missed you and the Arca family. Hopefully you and your family are doing well, and that the rest of the Arca family is doing just as well. Man, that's very kind of you and very thoughtful of you, Matt. I appreciate that so much, my brother. And yes, and we are doing okay. My son he's balanced. You know, he's still having a little bit of trouble with his sleep. He will be going down tonight at about 4:15 a.m. So that, you know, again, putting a huge limitation on Arca, but it's okay. I love the little guy, and we're going to do our best for him. Okay. All of us included here. Thank you guys for all of your support and for stopping by. Joe H, good to see you here, man. I thought I was gonna miss you the other day, man. So Joe H saying, I'm staying away from this dumpster fire. Do not stay away from the dumpster fire. Short it. These are natural market movements, you guys. This is the natural ebb and flow of the markets. And just to put it into heavy perspective for you, consider the low that we faced down here, right? The 0021 low from a few years ago. We're presently sitting. Wow. We're presently sitting at plus 38,500%. Okay. So this is not the end of GTII by any means. Okay. So these are just regular cycles that tend to happen. Now, if you're looking at it like this, now you can see how simple this formation is. You know, you can see just the sine waves happening and then a continuation to the upside. What I am noticing here is that we are essentially forming a series of higher highs. Okay, very, very bullish. We have higher lows as well. So this is long-term good looking. I don't know anything about the company. I don't know anything about their fundamentals either, but the price structure doesn't show weakness. It actually shows long-term strength, which only tells me that there could be something within the company fundamentals that is being overlooked for a long haul, and it's not for a short term. So whoever's managing this, whoever the CEO is in fact doing a pretty good job at it. Even though we've lost a lot of money here, okay? But please look at the relevance here of the price action in a macro scale, which I actually encourage often. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker. Okay, so for my friend Chris, let's take a look at that ticker ARCR. Or actually, you know what? I know you asked me to, yeah, Samantha, that's what David Parr was saying. He was saying that the merger with CRTD was actually yeah, that's why the merger news was essentially these pumps over here. Okay, so a combination of insider with retail. So yeah, the moves are great. You know, and it can actually show just how much fire it has under its belt. Okay, so, but yeah, you guys, I'm going to limit the videos that I release on GTII. Okay, so, but respectfully to the people who requested in a live situation, of course, I will absolutely do that for you. Okay, so yeah, let's. It was ticker symbol ARCR, right? I think it was per my friend Chris. I don't know if you're still here, buddy, but if you are, let's go ahead and look into that for you, okay? Because there is some good stuff along this. I think I've heard of this from somebody in Twitter, right? So let's see, ARCR. Hold on, I want to just make sure that I have it. Or which one did you want me to look at first, my bro? I know that you said ACOR first, right? And I don't even know if you're actually still here, but if you are not, then I will take care of your first request instead. So ACOR, let's, like always, you guys, I'd like to open up the daily chart first to see what we're dealing with. Okay, so this actually has been trading for quite a while. So this is actually encouraging me to open up a larger time frame. maybe even the 5-day. Okay, so where we can start to see the candles be a little more balanced. Okay, so yes, thank you, my bro. So we're gonna officially start the analysis for ACOR starting at 10. We're going to do a lightning fast one at 10. What was it again? I'm sorry, 11. Wow. Oh my goodness. I didn't even catch the time. Good time here is with everybody. Good time. Okay, so 11:48 p.m. starting ACOR. Okay. This already looks like a descending channel. It's a little confusing because it's disguised just like any other just like any other small cap or micro cap, because it does have the properties of a broadening descending wedge as well. Okay, but I think I'm a little more biased towards the channel. Okay, so let me actually validate that here. Okay, so let's just see if it does have any play. Oh, that's a perfect connector. Okay. Oof. Okay, so yes, the channel is in fact what we're looking at here. Okay, and and remember, it's in full discretion here. Okay, so we have that the 52-week low, 26 cents, touching down right at that support. We have the support connector here. We have another connector here, right? We have that perfect connector here, and also this one. Okay, so alongside the candle opening of this one right over here. Okay, so things are looking good for ACOR on a macro perspective. So let's start counting our tests of resistance, as this looks like it's healthy. We have test number 1, 2, 3, test number 4, capitulation, and 5. Awesome. So this is already following the playbook rules pretty nicely. Okay, so in all argument, this is actually its own candle structure as well. Okay, this N shape is actually something. I forgot what it's called, as this is a very rare. I don't see it often. But this is a bullish structure, and it has then repeated it in a smaller term time frame here, and now it's continuing it. Okay, so meaning that this is your master formation. You have the smaller fractal, and then you have the continuation. Okay, so again, I'm not a fan of fractals. I just tend to be observant of them in case they appear more often than not. In which case, then I would start back testing. But they're not so they're not pertinent enough for me to consider a back test just yet. Okay, so we want to load up our moving averages and momentum to see if we have an edge on this trade. Okay, so very, very good stuff here on the 5-day chart. We have made that 50-day simple moving average into a form of support and a continuation to the upside guide. Okay, the SMA 10 seems to be respected as well. Okay, so this is looking really good. Let's load up momentum and see what we have in line for this. Massive upside on the 5-day. So this is still suggesting upside. Let's see if we have a pullback or entry area for this ticker. Okay, so let's look at the 30-minute immediate short term, and this is actually following that structure that I was talking to Cal earlier about. So it's not as fluent and it's not as neat, but it's very much there. It's very much showing this symphony, right? It's a beautiful wave. It's a beautiful wave. Okay, so immediate short-term time frame upside, nonetheless. My goodness, 15-minute upside as well. So man, micro time frame, 5-minute, slight pullback. If we're gonna gain any type of entry here, it would potentially be at that 98-cent zone to the wick low of about 99 cents. Okay, so wow, just a 1 cent deficit. So 98 cents, 99 would essentially be a loading zone. Let's go to the buy hourly and see what it has to offer for us. Okay, so buy hourly is suggesting absolute upside. Oh man, this is I know that I didn't grade the other ones, but I may actually, Samantha, actually guide me in this. Should I grade all of them, or should I only grade the good ones? Or should I grade all of them because people want to be reminded, right? And that's I forgot because the power loss, right? The power outage and all that. I'm not blaming it on it. I'm just saying that I was distracted by it. 6 hour following that SMA 10 very closely. Yes to grading all of them, or yes to grading only the good ones. And the continuation to the upside is absolutely within the bull strength percentile. Very good stuff here, okay? Let's look at the 12-hour. 12-hour massive upside still. Oh goodness gracious, you guys, this is a bi-daily upside. We already saw the 5-day, 3-day upside. What was bi-weekly upside? What's going on, guys? What's going on with this therapeutics company? Why is it this bullish? Can anybody answer that for me? Because this is setting up for a macro move, and this is setting up for a macro reversal. There looks like there was one piece of news here, and it's actually December 31st. They entered the new MSA with, okay. Yeah, I guess there's positive catalysts on this. Everything's good. Ooh, okay, so let's load up if we're looking at macro scale upside here, because it is suggesting that it's literally nonstop upside for this. Let's load up the 21-day exponential moving average, which is definitely something that I consider heavily within the macro scale. So I'm looking at the monthly here. I also want to look at the quarterly and see what it has to offer. Okay, I know I loaded up 2 iterations of that monthly. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and block out every other moving average, and this is going to be essentially the 21-day. I'll make it yellow so that we can see if there's any form of resistance. Okay, so now we change that period to 21 from 9 and press OK, and there it is. Okay, so very, very important thing to notice here is that this is setting up for the upside, yes, but we have to keep in consideration the fact that there is a trek to the upside. Okay, so if we're looking at this like, you know, not in a formation like manner, and looking at this in more demand zones or just regular distribution type of area, so we can look at immediate resistance at a pretty large level here. Okay, so this can be a range that we can actually appear at. Okay, so this would be the wick low of 2020 September, and the closing, or the closing of this candle iteration on November 1st, okay, alongside the 21-day exponential moving average right at it. Okay, so these are very important. This is a very important area of resistance, and it is located between $3.68 and $2.53. If we're looking at this in a macro scale, this is when I start to give validation to candle structures. This is the epitome of a bull flag. Okay, so this is how you can gauge for real that a bull flag will realize to the upside. We have the two candles of retracement, bullish hammer printed at the downtrend, confirmation candle in play, 12 days to close. Okay, so I know it's forever from now. Okay, so still we have some decision making to make here, but still this is a typical setup for a bull flag. And since it is the monthly, I can give you a projection for 6 to 7 weeks from now, ending at that 370 level right up here. Okay, so if if you're looking to make more short term, since we are on the monthly, it's a lot easier for us to see those levels. And the most obvious level would actually be at 136, opening candle and closing candle. Okay, 136, 138 could be that first area of supply. We can face actually a retracement from the 136 to come back and test our newly converted resistance into support, eventually realizing and succeeding that 136, and then finding ourselves in about 3 weeks to 254, retracement back to 138, and then eventually touching down at 375. This can take 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, so but this is a macro play. Okay, I wouldn't even mess with the short term, as this could be a pretty good hold for a few months. And then take profit later. So if you have a long-term portfolio, this could essentially be that. And since it is rated at $1, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at more of its fundamentals. Let's look at its technicals and see what it has for us. Okay, so it's capitalized at a tiny 21 million, and let's see what the float. The float is 24 million as well. Okay, so I see why. We have a reverse split, and that was 1 to 6, very small one on 2021. So the compliance was actually just it was small. So I guess, and it's had a lot of misses in earnings, but who hasn't, right? So now what I am looking at here is a B minus. Okay, so this I would give this trade a heavy C plus to a B minus, and just because it's so small. Okay, and I'm giving it a B into the minus is because this is absolutely pitched to the upside. But don't get caught in the itch, okay? Don't get caught in the itch because this can sell off at any moment, as there is no ground to hold long-term like you would Tesla or whatever else, okay? So the more obvious, if we're looking at the more obvious demand zones, which, let's see. If we're looking at a retracement, which actually may not happen for after this, okay, so the demand zone, we surpassed it already. We already missed the demand zone and we're smack in the middle of the supply. So the demand zone is actually 46 cents, okay, and why the 46 cents, I will tell you right now in a very discretionary manner. But the 46 cents is not only our range low, but it's also the gap high. Right over here. The gap is actually from October 2022. And this essentially would mark our demand zone number 1. And demand zone number 2 would be located right over here. Okay, so it would essentially be the opening of this candle on June 2022 to the closing of this candle right over here on September 2022. This is demand zone number 2, of which I do not see reaching for a long, long time. I do not see us touching down on this demand zone either. And that's why I'm telling you that we're smack in the middle of supply and demand right now. So this, and it's actually this would be a conservative play for many actually. So, and the reason why I'm saying this is because the conservative trader would wait for the retracement from 136, and we would essentially come back to about 96 cents and start that validation process and then move on to the upside. So this would be reaccumulation, as there could be a smaller distribution area at about 136. Okay, so that would be the conservative trader. The aggressive trader would actually find entry at 98 cents almost immediately, or chase it, and then essentially make that upside continuation. Okay, so this is looking very good. I definitely give it a B minus rating. So let me just correct that. I saw that I actually put it the wrong way. So yeah, B minus rating on this one. It's a very good play. Okay, it's just risky. All right, you guys. So I actually do have room for one more ticker. Okay, you guys, and I will owe you these later. So Sebastian, I want to actually look at. I know that you made a donation to me earlier. And Matt Gomez giving me another donation, my friend. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, my friend. Again, yeah, my family is doing good, man. Thank you for keeping my son in your mind. He's quite the little rocket ship, man, and I want to encourage that for him. So thank you for that, as it will go a long way for my family here. Okay, so Sebastian, I want to look into your ticker WULF. Okay, so we'll go ahead and follow up with ticker OP tomorrow. Or what day is it tomorrow? Friday. We don't usually stream, so I'll go ahead and maybe send you this like an image or something. Let me know where I can reach you also, Sebastian. I'm not sure if you talk to me in any other place other than YouTube, okay? So if you are in Discord, definitely consider sending me some messages there on the DMs, okay? Friend request me, and I will certainly add you, okay? So we officially finished the ticker symbol ACOR. Very good recommendation, by the way. So this was 12:02 a.m. Okay, you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our last ticker for the night, and we are going to look at ticker symbol WULF, because it is absolutely one of those tickers that have just massive potential. But again, remember, guys, I'm talking about WULF being pertinent to the broader market cycles. Okay, so yeah, man, we faced a huge retracement right into our support, 1.618. Good deal. Okay, so the downside is still being shown here. Okay, so I'm going to officially start. Actually, sorry, before I continue, I'm going to do it at 12:02 a.m. officially starting ticker symbol WULF for Sebastian Lim from Singapore, my dude. All right, so yeah, ticker symbol WULF. It's going to reaccumulate again. and that's particular to the daily chart. We're going to go ahead and verify, but please, guys, I need you to notice something here. I'm going to go ahead and just block out the visibility of the SMAs, sorry. I'm going to take out my RSI, and now we're going to look at the ARC DBSI indicator. Okay, so this is one of the indicators that are available to you. Just send me a DM and we can go over the subscription packages, but this is a statistical indicator. It takes a metric of every single candle iteration printed on the particular time frame of whatever asset you're in. Okay, so in doing so, this measures a strength value that's presented to us in a percentage value right up here. I've never seen this happen. I've never seen 100% bulls. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. This is crazy. Okay. So ticker symbol WULF is, yeah, I told you guys that I'm still, man, this is absolutely going to face upside for weeks. So it's set to reaccumulate right now. And if we're going to use into consideration our candle print from today, we can actually use that by the swing low with a Fibonacci retracement, right? And we'll take it to the swing high. So the more obvious reaccumulation areas would be between the 0618, which we're at right now. Okay, but that's not viable because it's too close. Okay, so we have to take into consideration our next geometrical pattern, which would be our previous 1.618 yet again. So meaning that some people may consider this a double bottom. Okay, but don't use that candle formation. Okay, double bottoms have a very low hit rate. And not 786 range. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this in for you. Okay, so not 786 at 85.16. To the 1.618 at 81.19 reaccumulation here alongside the 13-day exponential moving average from the DBSI. Man, that's perfect. It touched it to the penny. Woo! That's very good. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and now look at the immediate short term. We'll start off just like we always do on that 30-minute. And we can see right away that the 30-minute has a little bit of a restriction here. From two zones. Remember, we have the gravitational zone of the bull weakness and the 14-day simple moving average. Heavy resistance, so which means that this is likely to be limited to an upside of about 93 cents before finding a downside continuation. Okay, let's go ahead and validate that downside. Bi-hourly is showing us some upside as well. Okay, so if we're considering a little bit of a higher term upside, then there could be a slight potential. But notice that the kinks are coming in here and it's slowing down. I hate it that it's not bright. Let's make it a little brighter, okay? For those of you on the mobile devices. Yeah, these kinks are the ones I'm talking about. Just like this. You see these? That's usually the loss of strength, okay? So that can actually lead to a downside continuation, okay, eventually. So now that it's going to get into and it looks like it's failing it just before the gravitational pull. We also have a hint from that 14-day moving average starting that slight slope towards the downside. Okay, so limited upside here. Again, I'm going to give that 93-cent zone as the top. Let's go ahead and see the 6 hour and see what it has for us. Okay, so the 6 hour is already where that downside is going to start. It's saying that the downside is limited, which is very pertinent to the distance of our present price action at 90.83 to about that 85-cent zone. So it's very short-lived. We can actually do something like these two iterations. Okay, we can see that failure of the 14-day recovery, failure of the 14-day and recovery. Okay, so just like that, we can actually look at that support zone. This is a significant support zone because we are in that gravitational zone of the bull weakness alongside the 14-day simple. Okay, so we can actually dip right down here, get pulled, and also bounce. Okay, so very good stuff here. So this is likely to be a temporary downside, and a continuation to the upside is imminent. Okay, so and now that 12-hour time frame is essentially why I'm giving you the 91 cent to that 80 cent zone. Okay, or 81 cents. Okay, so this is likely going to find that support again, and then that continuation to the upside. All right, so yeah, I'm thinking, honestly, I'm still bullish on WULF. Yeah, absolutely. This is, I know the buy daily is still suggesting that downside. That's all great, but the upside starts at 3 days And we may face a retracement a little bit further down the line, which is natural. And weekly and bi-weekly are still suggesting some sideways, slightly bullish. Okay, so what that is overall telling me, because it's a little confusing when you're looking at it in that manner, is that we are going to make an upside break and we're going to now consolidate for some time. Why? Because if you can remember the broadening descending wedge that we've been riding, okay, and I know that I don't have it drawn on this chart. I was looking for it, but it's okay. I think I actually had it drawn from, I think it may have been here, okay? So this is just a very discretionary, quick little drawing, okay? So I think it was drawn like this. Actually, it was here. And then like this. Okay, so that means that I actually had this drawn at about this area here. Okay, so this is the broadening descending wedge that we've been riding. We actually attempted to break out of it today. And now that upside move, the reaccumulation to the upside could be that 81.25 to recover right back into about $1. Okay, so if we're going to recover at about $1 or $1.04, we can then start consolidating and then confirming our newly converted resistance into support before a continuation to the upside. So this has still some things to take care of. Okay, so those longs that opened up down here are holding, and it's showing that they are holding. So the people that did take profit are because it faced the resistance from the broadening descending wedge resistance. Okay, you guys, so that's kind of the reason why we're looking at this. But this is going to be bullish for maybe after 2 weeks or something before we can continue to the upside, as Bitcoin is showing a little bit of weakness right now. Okay, Matt Gomez, have a good night, my bro. Take care. So this is very my goodness, you guys. Am I going to lose the battery right at the end of this session over here? What's going on? We're still good. So that is going to do it for ticker symbol WULF at 12:10 a.m. Okay. So I know that was my last ticker, but I'm looking at a question rise up right over here for who is this? Who is this? Peter, what's up, man? So you are asking, no, you moved on, but what was the time frame for GTII to get to that possible $18 target? If you could look at it again before you sign off, greatly appreciate it. I know you want to limit GTII discussion. No. I don't want to limit the GTII discussion. I want to limit the video output. So now, yeah, of course, man. Let's take a look at it again. I'm happy to do so. Okay, so the $18 okay, you're talking about that 3,000% move. Okay. Let's take into consideration that we're on a 5-day chart with 5 days and 14 hours left to go. Okay, so the next, you have to please take into account how the price action is moving. Okay, you can see that it's getting a little smaller, suggesting that the bears may actually be losing strength. But in fact, since we did make that 200-day simple moving average into a resistance, that's the reason why we were slowing down, is in approach to that possible salvation from the 200. But the play is the play, and usually when we're facing these type of market cycles, the sine wave is actually gonna kind of take precedence, right? So let's take into account 5 days from now we're gonna finish this, right? So 5 days, we have a 10-day iteration, right? 15-day iteration. We have a 20-day iteration. This is very discretionary, by the way, okay? So now if we look at a 20-day iteration, we can see a 25-day iteration to test the resistance. 30, we have 35, so we're into a month now. And then this could actually start making an ascent. So now we're at 45, resistance touch, likely to come back down. So man, if I can put it into perspective for you, this is something that can be over the span of about 4 months, six months, between 4 and 6 months. And that's a heavy guess, man. And that's only based on candle structures and not including FOMO, panic sells, or psychological events. Also not including a bull market or bear market cycle. So I'm just giving it to you in time frame and also in candle analysis and heavy discretion. right? So, Peter, I honestly think that $18 target, which would essentially be, yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a pump from about 30 cents, let's measure that. Let's just out of curiosity, right? We can see that potential final bottom test of about 28 cents, right? That $18 target would essentially be your portfolio in a long-term hold of 6,400%, which is ridiculous. And this is literally what, like, I don't know, 300 years of return from a Roth, from an IRA, just all alone in GTII, right? So please do remember that the conditions and the criteria of the volatility versus momentum profile are absolutely they need to be met in this area in order for us to consider the upside continuation. Okay, so definitely know that I see the probabilities of the volatility of the statistical physics of this. I see them. There's a high likelihood that we can find it here in this area, which would essentially be necessary for us to make that upside move, as it would be essentially our biggest demand zone right now. So now, if I can just put this into a little bit more perspective for you, okay? We said down here, right? Right at about that 28 cent level. Let me draw that trend line for you so you can just see how confluent this is. Look at this candle. Right on November 6, 2020. It's literally in line with the bottom side of our descending broadening wedge. So this is it's a matter of correlation. It's a matter of previously touched inflection points or tested supports, and then for some reason, whatever fundamental metric would actually match to this around this time, and then we would continue on to the upside, which is how analysts like me are hired for companies like GTII to project future weaknesses or future potentials. And this happens every day. They call them quants, or quantitative analysts, right? So in this case, I'm just using the basics of statistical physics to understand the possibilities of an upside threshold. Okay, so if we do meet a 3,000% move from that bottom side target, that would then put us at let's see. From this level here, that 3,000% move that we've been looking at for some time puts us at about 90% completion of this zone, and puts us right at the resistance of our $9 level. So that our previous high. So everything is rhyming pretty well for me here, you know. What I'm thinking, Peter, you're asking me. So we are headed down to the 30-cent level for a while. So. I can't validate the 30 cent. The only way that I can validate it is simply only for the fact that there is this candle iteration here, and it's one iteration. But between this candle and the 45-cent zone is a void. Okay, so this void here is the reason why I can't tell you whether the 30 cent is viable or not. So this is why I presented the video to the 45 cent instead. Because this is also a realistic area for a bounce. We may not actually reach the 30-cent zone. I'm giving it to you in a very discretionary manner that based on the typical trading rules of this broadening descending wedge, the play suggests for us to come back down for a third test of that support before a continuation to the upside in an attempt of a true breakout on test number 4, which is very, very common. And I've traded these so many times. I actually just traded it on FFIE. So, just know that this is because of this void here is the reason why I'm unable to give you that official, downside call out, right? So, and now if we're looking at the other zone that I looked at 64 cents, which could be a temporary bounce, 64 cents is the closure and opening of all these candles here. So that's why I'm suggesting it as well. So there are 3 areas of inflection here. So 64, 45, and 30. So that's why I can give you my projections, okay? So, Peter, I hope I was able to answer that for you correctly. But you guys, this is gonna do it for the stream tonight. And oh my goodness, my bro, you came in so late. What is up, Eric? Powerlifter, man, good to see you here, my bro. So he's saying, "Hola, mi hermano. Just stopping in quick to say hi. Been chilling, sitting on the spy puts and watching them do their thing. Hope you and the family are well." Yes, my friend. Thank you so much. My bro, good to see you here. Mark Roach saying good night, chat. Good night, mods, and good night, Arca Master Chart. Yes. No. Okay, I'm not saying yes to the Master. I'm saying good night to you. Yes, okay. God, appreciate your work in time. Arca, yes, of course, my friend. Always here for you, my dude. Definitely come to the Discord. Do not ignore it. My moderators, Hound, Samantha, and Cal, you guys have been so awesome. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Powerlifter, I miss you, my dude. Peter, have a good night, my friend. I'm happy you asked those questions. And I'm happy that I was able to answer them for you, okay? Very good stream, very long stream, okay, you guys? So I got to get to my toddler now. But with that said, you guys, I wish you well. Matt Gomez, have a good night. I thought you were already gone, my dude. But Besso, Amy, everybody in the chat. Joe H, good to see you here. David Parr, Joe T, George T, right? if I missed it. I'm trying to remember the names that were in here earlier. Okay, you guys. But yes, you guys, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Make sure to hit that like button before signing off, Eric P says. So make sure to do that, you guys. I wish you well. I wish you a very good night. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.